Greetings, everybody, and welcome to Midnight's Edge After Dark on the main channel. That's right, we're still under suspension, even though it's under appeal. By the time they appeal it, well, I've already done my time, so what the fuck's the point? I better get a freebie next time. But that ain't gonna happen with YouTube. You're muted, Jesse.
It's going to stay on behind the scenes until like January.
Oh,
That's what the appeal will get rid of.
Oh, either way, it's
bullshit.
Just stupid.
They don't read them. They don't read the appeals.
So that, of course, is Jesse, my partner in crime. How you doing, Jesse?
A lovely day. How about you?
Peachy. And we also have with us script doctor as well. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you all doing today?
Glad to be here and glad to have you here. And also with us is the Mexican Iron Man, Mike. How you doing?
Arriba, andale.
Don't sound so excited.
Yeah.
Someone ate a rabbit chicken for breakfast.
Yep. Two. Yep.
Two rabbit
I got
chickens.
a little spring in my step. Hey! Whoa, what happened?
Angry old lady.
It took me a while to realize that was a lady and not a man.
Sometimes it doesn't matter.
Yeah, at that point.
What?
All right. So, how's everybody doing out there in the chat? Let's say hello to everybody real quick. We got Lindsay hanging in there with a wrench. We got Goddess of Women also as well with a wrench. How you ladies doing? We got Eagle Fang for life. Eagles don't have fangs. I hate to tell you that. Keith Howard's here. Joker Voice is here. We also have Night Raven. How you doing? We got Darth Scipio. We have Mr. Plague Doctor. Don't get too close. Mr. Dragon's here. And also here is Culture Casino with that hair. How you doing?
Hello. I'm doing great.
It's Cuddles.
That's right. I rolled in. How's everything in the world? I noticed that we are talking some fun stuff. I mean, Friday the 13th, a little bit of Rocky. It's good.
And we've got
Rocky makes me happy.
Yeah, it does. Actually. We got SP4H here. We got Professor Gray just saying hello to a few people. We got Eric Rung Madsen. We got Willie Woodward here as well. How you doing, Willie? We got Michael Gonzalez here and so many more. Welcome, everybody. Spider Unlimited already sent us a super chat. Says, I hope Rocky IV Director's Cut is just one long extended music video or musical.
There's no easy way out and there's no shortcut home. Giving can't be wrong. Sorry.
We're gonna need a montage.
Gonna need a montage. Sports action montage.
Steven Otten is on the road. He said he just got out of Venom. Oh shit, that's right. That opens tonight in some places, don't it?
And
Ollie's watching it right now.
Good, bad, fun.
What? He's not watching Mrs. Slant on Grey's Anatomy tonight?
He had me set up the DVR and then he went to the movie.
I don't have TV.
Ooh.
Yeah, true though.
Yeah, that's risky.
I'll have to watch it tomorrow. I don't like Grey's Anatomy, so maybe he'll send me her scenes.
But the book isn't like the show. It's mostly about how to dissect people.
That's a totally different thing.
Yeah, the book is way more interesting about the dissection, and then the show is all about sex.
So the show isn't about Henry Gray?
No.
No.
He was a fellow of medicine.
I hate to break it to you, but if it is about that individual, they race swapped him. No, I know it's not about him.
They could still make that show. It would just be like that Westminster Abbey with doctors like to cut up cadavers. They buy off of people who dig them up.
Why does that sound like a show already?
It's exactly into what you like. It'd be right after How to Commit the Perfect Murder, like that show.
I almost got away with it.
It sounds like a film.
Yeah.
That works.
I mean, if Gene Wilder was only younger, right?
We need to make a movie called Montage.
And alive.
Yes.
No, we don't.
It's so just sad. One long fucking montage. Oh, cool ass shit.
That'd be awesome, man. Sign me up for that.
That'd be tiresome after 10 minutes.
Show a little improvement to show them all what's going on.
So yeah, we got some Rocky IV news. We got some Friday the 13th news. We may talk about some other things too. As you saw, we dropped a video earlier here on the main channel that was pretty interesting. I don't know if everybody got a chance to see it yet.
I did watch
yeah.
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mixed feelings.
Mixed feelings. I do too. I like the idea, but the fact that they don't really have anything to work off of for Empire and Jedi, and the whole story is in the first movie, makes me very leery as to what they will do.
Well, hypothetically saying, I'm sorry. I just read singing in the chat, and I'm like, fuck, I said it out loud. But it could be something that would be neat as a compare and contrast type of a thing, just to see maybe, what was left out, what could have been different. But, once it falls into these hands of which it's in now, it's just going to turn to a pile of horse shit. So
I do have that script if you wanted, get out ahead of that.
Oh, yeah?
That was a good one.
It's over. It's almost, it's a 45-year-old script. So,
that's
and
good.
the rumor is that they're rewriting it to fit this new story arc that they're doing, which is essentially it's in Elseworlds of Star Wars.
All right, we should do that until we steal their thunder.
Speaking of thunder,
I mean, it's already been published in a Marvel book, so you're not really.
Yeah,
we got somebody in the back who has thunder thighs.
Hey now.
And really, 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 really wanted to be on the show so bad that now he owes me a lot more than $500. Welcome to the show, Fat Steven.
Hey, Tom, the funny thing is, I was coming up with a thunder joke, and I knew one of us were going to say it first as soon as the thunder was dropped by script.
Well,
in defense, most of us have thunder thighs, except for Script. Script, could you take off your shirt for the crowd?
He has thunder. No. He got thunder thoughts, man.
Oh no! I'm not.
Yeah, bro.
This is MEAD. It's okay.
Hail back, Steven.
Hail, Mike, my brother. But Script made my morning this morning when he sent me a DM on this little thing we're working on. Dude, you made my whole freaking day.
Oh, nice. I'm actually running off the latest one right now. See how that looks better.
Should we tell them?
Sure, go ahead.
Well, how we have that Crisco Core joke over in the channel.
Yes.
No, the entire internet knows this joke.
Well, we're actually making a Green Lantern Core style rings of Crisco Core, which we're going to leave blank if we can get it right, and members or whoever wants them can paint them themselves their own colors.
Are you going to coat them in Crisco so that every time they try to put them on,
I was going to ask you to actually lick each one, and then I'll laminate it so we have a Jesse Miller saliva variant just for the extra backers.
Then it's going to dry up. They won't be able to get a DNA sample to clone me.
My Crisco never dries up. Just like my bad jokes, they never dry up.
Interesting. Well, Cole
I
is
think this is phenomenal. I want one. Yeah. How do I get one? Do I become a member to your channel? How do I do that?
At least it's organic.
Hi, Tom. Thanks for having me. I'll see you in another year.
Coalescing Tormentum sends in $5. Says, I want to see a fight between Rocky and Jason now. Who wouldn't? I can't believe they haven't proposed that already.
Yeah, that's not fair. One of them is already dead.
I think Rocky could go the distance.
Yeah,
I think Rocky could hit him so hard, Voorhees would become alive.
And that's not a nice thing to say about Sylvester Stallone, Jesse.
He'd go like 20 rounds on top of a roof in the middle of Manhattan, then he'd get his head punched.
That's what I'm saying. That one dude went like toe to toe with him for a few minutes. Rocky could definitely go a few minutes with him.
You need the Expendables versus all the horror villain icons.
That I would love to see.
Can you imagine seeing the Expendables versus Jason, Michael Myers?
You see, that would be extremely interesting because it brings into question what actually is Jason, because a lot of people think he's a deadite. That's the common.
Well, that's because of.
But let's say, hypothetically speaking, you get some assault rifles and you totally destroy the bones of his legs and he falls over. How long does it take him to stand back up healed? Is that how it works, or is he just kind of like a puppet that's being puppeteered by some kind of spirit? You know what I mean? Where the actual physicality of his body doesn't really matter.
Too much about.
I thought he was an overgrown munchkin from the Wizard of Oz.
They're all dead, aren't they?
No, by now, yes.
Probably.
I think the last one died like a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
All I know is that half of the Oompa Loompas were English and half of them were German.
And half of them didn't even understand what they were saying.
Nope.
But yeah, I think that would be interesting to see their coalescing Tormentum. I think Jason versus Rock. Actually, I like the idea of the Expendables versus all the old horror icons. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that's awesome because it's like Michael Myers took a firing squad. He got up eventually.
Hey, yo, Freddy, I got a nightmare for you.
Yeah, right. Imagine what kind of nightmares a bunch of mercenaries would have.
I'm your worst nightmare.
Freddy would just be like, "You guys are fucked up."
Sure, be like,
She's like,
Yeah.
burning a whole
Michael.
village. This is a little much even for me.
I'm coming for you. Got us
I
a
saved
win.
you for
That's
last.
a really good
I could've
impersonation.
Killed you
It is.
17 times.
That's because I love that movie. He grabs that mic and he's like, "Then I'm coming for you." It's like, oh shit!
No, that was a
That's, like, really
good-ass
good.
movie.
That got me hard.
It did.
Whoa. Whoa.
Mike,
he
I
was
was
on
with you all
minutes in.
last year. Calm down.
Hey,
7
Murdoch.
minutes in.
In case anyone
We can
hasn't seen it,
change.
excellent.
They can change. Everyone can change.
Yeah. So, what's being added exactly into this?
40 minutes of montage.
40 minutes.
Wow.
He's training. It's Rocky training and Drago training for 40 minutes straight.
Like, you know, like I'm going up the mountain. Like, you get to see me going down. You know? Like, up and
Hey.
down.
You know, do you think this is where they're going to put all the extra footage of Ray training in the Star Wars movies?
No, I think this is where they're going to show Rocky punching down the tree log that he carries up the mountain.
Oh, really?
Because he doesn't chop it, he has to punch it.
Yeah.
Are you
I
fucking
think
kidding me?
down.
That's in there?
No, it'd be better if it was 50 minutes of Rocky trying to get their hooked on phonics tape.
Hey, yo, this is stupid.
Him and Mike Tyson.
these elocution
Public
It stinks. You know?
How about Rocky on Rosetta Stone learning Spanish?
Words are
Oh,
stupid.
God.
Oh my God.
Sí, señorita.
I
don't
want,
care.
dude, let's start him out on Italian, okay?
Hey, yo, I know Italian. Yo.
Maybe.
All right, Goddess of Whim sends in $5. Thank you so much. Says, had to share this with you guys. Been watching What If with my mom. She said, so, is this a series that What If Captain Marvel was relevant? That
Nicely done.
was pretty funny.
She is used quite frequently in it.
Yeah, I've heard. Nikki D says, why in heaven's name are we getting the Bodyguard remake? Can't these cultural vandals show some restraint? Wasn't that Bodyguard actually a remake of another movie anyway?
I think so, if memory serves. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
but
so.
I kind of remember a trailer for this. Isn't this going to be like an even shittier version of the Bodyguard where he's all cucked out or something?
Well, that would not make him a very efficient bodyguard.
Yeah, but I remember something about this and it just looked terrible. Who's in this?
Sorry.
Sorry.
I don't know who's in it offhand. I did hear something about it, but you know, at least the original Bodyguard, or the one from the 90s or whatever, at least
Kevin
that was
Costner,
yeah, with one with Costner and Whitney.
Houston.
Like at least that one was like a romance movie that guys could see because it had Kevin Costner in it kicking ass.
It was also because that one song just made that movie
Whatever
known
you
too.
want.
Oh, Dolly Parton song, yeah.
I would do anything. Yeah.
See, I never saw The
I
Bodyguard because I think that that's totally a chick flick, and I don't think there's any excuse to watch that if you're a man.
That's just what I was saying. Is
it's
there
a
is
waste of everybody's time, and don't watch it because
Watch
do you really
Roadhouse.
wanna watch this shit?
Roadhouse
Watch
is good.
Watch Roadhouse.
Roadhouse
again.
is good, but I will say this: don't listen to Jesse. The Bodyguard is actually a pretty decent film.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So if anybody knows who's in it, I did hear something about like they're doing some kind of weird switch to it though. Like
the singer is a man and the bodyguard.
yeah, is that what's going on? Goddess of
Yeah,
Whim?
I
I'm
told you it was
speculating. I
something
have no idea.
stupid.
I heard something like that.
Oh,
Bodyguard's so thin, even if she does take a bullet
about
for
the
you, it'll just pass
Bodyguard?
right through.
Oh, Sean
Right.
Carter.
How about the
that's-
Bodyguard
that's
is a woman that's stunning and brave, and she's bodyguard to Justin Bieber.
Well, supposedly the actual singer is going to be Latina. This was 17 hours ago.
Is
Oh,
it Ricky
what?
Martin?
No, it's just.
Right?
actually, I would watch it if it was Ricky Martin.
bang. She
And he falls in love with
Just
his
for that.
bodyguard.
This is
Ricardo.
no fucking joke. I got a Ricky Martin story. It's not that exciting, but it's kind of funny. Now, when I worked in radio, it took like we get these radio discs that would come in, and we'd work them in our rotation, and generally they'd work in after about 2-3 weeks, they'd be in the normal rotation, right? Even if there's a bigger song, it'd still take a while. No shit, when Livin' La Vida Loca came out, that motherfucker was in our rotation like fucking 6 times a goddamn day. I'm like, is there a reason why we're playing this fucking song so much?
Living the vida loca.
It was a
That's
huge
exactly what the
thrust.
audience
hit.
thought.
Thrust.
That's how he feels his tortillas.
Yep.
'Cause we weren't even a pop station. We were a country / AC station, right?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You're playing
what?
Living La Vida
We're
Loca.
playing. That's what I said. I'm like, what
That
the
makes
fuck?
no sense. Get
We're
the hell
supposed to
out
be
of here,
playing
Tom.
Kenny Rogers and fucking
Tom,
Randy Travis and John Mellencamp. What the fuck is this shit?
Come on,
Russell.
Tom.
Producer-
I
Yeah,
was born that
Garth
night.
Brooks,
Crush on
Alabama.
I was
Yeah.
born that night, not last night, Tom. Come on. Seriously?
Tom, did you see the interview from the 28th? That was the interview with Matthew Lopez and how he's wanting to push a Latina. And supposedly we're
Well, that's
looking
not a
at
nice thing to
either
do.
Cardi B or Tessa Thompson were suggested for the film.
I mean, it may not be illegal to push women, but you shouldn't.
No, that's
Even if
arbitrary.
Cardi B
Latina.
doesn't strike me as an actress.
Or Latina.
Or a singer.
Well, look at Justin Trudeau.
Or
We
his
thought
talent.
Aladdin was black.
For Christ.
I don't look at Justin Trudeau. That's why my cable TV's been cut for the whole building. I didn't want anyone else to look at it either.
Look,
Oh,
if you want to have a better morning, just wake up, make a cup of coffee, and listen to Sticks, X, and Hammer.
Actually, I just have you on repeat. It helps me go back to sleep, and I feel very manly afterwards.
I've been doing the ASMR, or as I call it, the ass smear.
I love ASMR, especially when you're talking about butter.
Oh yeah, or avocado stuff.
Well, the avocado's only on Fridays because I'm trying to watch my gluten intake.
Okay, I don't know what's
Midnight's
happening.
Edge ASMR.
I don't know what's
I don't
happening
know
right
what
now, but I know
gluten
it's not in my contract with Tom. I know that.
That is true. You guys, that
My
is in
safe
the
word
contract.
is Mike.
Well, mine is
Wait,
go.
what?
have one.
Cesario JPN says, who was asking about the Sega Genesis last week? Brazil has a video game industry based on the Sega Genesis. Cloth Map on YouTube has a video on it from bootleg consoles to Brazil-only Genesis games. That would be Andre.
Mm-hmm.
And Andre does not play anything or know of any games that go past the Sega Mega Drive, as he calls it.
No, I can look it
I
up for
still
you
don't
right
know
now,
what a
bro.
Sega Mega Drive.
It's the
Sega
Sega
Mega Drive
Genesis.
was
Sega Genesis.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's
Dude,
just
that
that's
hasn't
what they
been
call
around
it.
in
Every,
It's
They
it's
stopped
not a
making that,
Sega
like-
Genesis. It's a different system.
they made that
Well-
like 20 years ago, Jesse.
Sega Mega Drive 32X has Afterburner, Amazing Spider-Man,
okay, yeah, that's the
slash
one that
Web
was
of
after
Fire,
the Sega Genesis.
But
BC
Just-
Racers, Blackthorn, Brutal Unleashed, Knuckles
But-
Chaotic. It only has like a handful of games.
Well,
But
that's
Jesse,
because
the
that's
reason
the end of the line for him. Sorry.
But it's also the reason why people get confused when you hear Sega, because we have the Sega Saturn, Sega Neptune, Sega Dreamcast, and there was a Sega other projects that went all when Sega was going. It was just, and by the time you got all those pieces, your Sega Genesis looked like the leaning tower of CD-ROM drives.
They also
piled on
didn't
top
call
of
the
each other.
Genesis outside of the U.S.
What I wanted was that Jaguar thing.
Oh no, you want the handheld Jaguar?
Was it as cool as it looked in the commercials?
I had a Game Gear. I didn't know. I was having fun with the Game Gear.
Yeah, my brother had Game Gear. I had Game Boy, so we could play both of those.
Oh my God, I thought this was a joke. Yu-Yo in the chat said that, and this is breaking news as of 7 hours ago. Shakira, the international global phenomenon, and
I know her.
the woman that should be my future ex-wife, has been attacked by 2 wild boars. And ladies and gentlemen, they were wild boars, not rabbit chickens.
And
Is this
did
for
she
real?
just did
Yeah,
she just
here's
subdue
a link.
them
Watch
with
this.
her
Where
hips?
was she located that
Hold
wild
on.
boars
Are you
exist?
sure her hips aren't lying?
I think
sure
she
that-
just hip checked it and they
Hold
knocked
on.
them both out. With that
Oh,
ass.
this is true. Barcelona. I thought she was attacked in World of Warcraft and was just playing it off.
Hold on.
Oh
Is
yeah,
she okay?
yeah.
Is this real? Is she okay? Because she's hot.
She's
didn't
also
expect
can
to
sing.
start
Like
this
one of the
show.
last great singers.
Wait a minute. As of 4 hours ago, Shakira says she was. Yeah.
I can only do one of my senses at once when things look such a way.
Here you go.
At
Got
least
it
you
right
didn't
here.
say it was woman hating white men.
Not that. Sorry, that's my porn. Sorry. There we go.
Shakira.
Shakira says she was attacked by 2 wild boars in Barcelona. Get the hell out of here. Barcelona, Spain. The singer took Instagram to explain her harrowing tale of being chased by bacon. Yeah. And stole her
So,
bag while she was in the
They
park.
stole her bag, huh?
Oh man, that sounds like it was coordinated.
Yeah. They're organizing now. Shit.
Organizing boars.
They were taking my
What did she
Wait
have
a
in her
minute,
bag?
wait.
A fucking
They were
sandwich or
taking my
what?
bag to the woods with my mobile phone in it. They've destroyed everything. She then asked her 8-year-old son about the incident. Milan, tell the truth. Say how mom stood up to the wild boar.
Oh shit!
And the kid just wants to say she lost it. She got upset and threw it out the car window.
That sounds like
The kid got home and looked up the word emancipation. That's pretty much what happened.
The boar probably just wanted her stash.
Well, the incident seems bizarre. Shakira is just one victim in a string of attack. What is this, a gang of boars? Is
Apparently,
this
is an
cannot
issue.
be a real story.
You know why this doesn't
This is
happen?
totally
in
real.
America?
CBS News. Well,
It's on the BBC News too, but Jesus Christ.
Even if it's a wild boar, we will eat it.
Yeah.
That's why this shit don't
Yeah.
happen in America. That's fucking free beef or free
What
beef,
the
Free
fuck?
pork.
technically, the boars
Where-
only give you one experience.
Where was her
with
man
it.
companion when this happened, and why did not he provide a shield of defense against this wild boar
Yeah.
attack?
You just
Does
read
she
the
have
article.
one?
He's 8 years old.
No, but I mean the man, not her son.
You
I
think
mean
she
the
would have
man.
a bodyguard?
Where's the dude?
She did. She's 8 years old.
He's 8 years old. 8-year-old.
No.
You can't
Yeah,
afford
yeah,
the
or
It's the
he's 8 years
paparazzi
old.
guard.
The hips
Yeah.
ain't been bringing in the cash like they used to be.
Yeah.
Is he packing?
Ever since they separated a little.
He's
See,
packing a super soaker.
that right there would have been a job for Mexican Iron Man to defend Shakira. I could have like come in there with my Mexican Iron tortilla sombrero suit. I could have used my guacamole.
Well, that's your
Just like
fault
in
you're
part
not in
one.
Barcelona or shit.
Mike, you would have been eaten alive by the boars, and only her cell phone would have survived.
Mikey would
Yeah.
just look over his shoulder and shoot a tiny
Sebastian's
little missile
right.
at the boar.
This
It was
boar
man-
thing sounds like something right out of South Park. No
It was
shit.
Man Bear Pig.
It's
Yeah, it was
true.
Man Bear Pig.
I found it on 3 different news sites already.
Yo, Man
Mhm.
Bear Pig
I-
killed Satan. That was a big story arc. That
It's
was like
super
crazy.
cereal.
He killed Satan.
Wait, was this secretly a deleted scene from Venom? Let There Be Carnage.
Could have been.
Could have been.
All right.
They could use it in a future
I'm gonna put this
movie.
in my soon-to-be-released comic book of how I saved the superstar. I can't call her Shakira. I'll have to call her like Shatira or something like that.
We're
Just
like
call her Aguilera.
we're like 20 minutes in here, so we really gotta get to this first story.
Hey,
here.
okay. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Rocky IV director's cut gets one night only theatrical run, restores 40 minutes of footage.
But can
Wow.
we buy it?
In 1985, a plucky underdog from the city of brotherly love. That's Philadelphia. I ain't gonna do the whole thing as Rocky. Fuck that.
Good.
Helped cease Cold War tensions with this gutsy triumph over a Soviet. You want to read it, Culture?
Well, if you'd have to make it much larger.
Precisely.
That's what she
That's
said.
what she said.
Yeah, control scroll wheel, my friend. Make it bigger.
Here,
He
I'll just
scroll
send
wheel.
you a
He has a
version of it.
trackball.
Embiggen it. Oh,
Check
there it
in,
is.
check the
I
private.
got it. Okay. In 1985, a plucky underdog from the city of brotherly love helped ease Cold War tensions with his gutsy triumph over a Soviet slugger and his passionate reminder that everybody can change. That ringside speech, of course, was the dramatic culmination of Rocky IV, one of the biggest hits of that year and a critical component of the Sylvester Stallone canon. There were come from behind victories, dramatic montages, and that stirring theme music courtesy of Bill Conti. All the things that made the franchise so great. But fans of the Rocky saga might be forgiven for wondering what got left on the cutting room floor. Well, wonder no longer. Rocky v. Drago, the ultimate director's cut, will deliver 40 more minutes of never-before-seen footage. The film, which Stallone directed as well as starred in, will be available for one night only engagement in theaters on November 11th. MGM will team with Fathom Events for the nationwide screenings, which will also include a Q&A with Stallone that will be broadcast to certain venues, as well as a behind-the-scenes look at the film's creation. Here's the official studio pitch. The fight scenes are more intense, the music is more powerful, and the drama is heightened as the world heavyweight champion Rocky Balboa must defend his title once again, this time against his most formidable opponent, Ivan Drago.
Question.
Yeah.
Is the 40 minutes of extra footage him just unclogging a toilet?
Don't know.
I know there's one scene with him with the boxing council. But it seemed like the way the new trailer looks, it more like there's a lot more attention given to the whole Apollo arc. And then later on, that comes up with him more and it means more to him. so it fills it out nicely. And I think Drago gets more scenes or more lines anyway.
Yeah, he recut the whole thing from beginning to end.
Holy shit!
Yeah, but who did the recut? Was it Stallone?
Him, yeah.
Oh, so
there's
good.
actual footage out there of him.
That's awesome then.
Like cutting it, like I mean, he's telling the guys what to do, but he's like, cut to that part there, and then cut to this punch here. Blah, blah. Like, it's out there on YouTube. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because supposedly his boxing matches and those are extremely choreographed, right?
Oh yeah, he writes them out. Anyway, continue. Sorry, Culture.
Almost done. For those who are otherwise busy on the 11th, Rocky v. Drago, the Ultimate Director's Cut, will be available to rent on demand beginning Friday, November 12th. In addition to Lundgren, the film features Brigitte Nielsen, Burt Young, Carl Weathers, Michael Pataki, Robert Dornick, Stu Nahan, Talia Shire, and Tony Burton. It also sported a turn from renowned Mikhail Gorbachev impersonator David Lloyd Austin.
Most of these people are dead. How are they getting them back?
I don't know.
Holograms.
That was a bad joke. I'm sorry. Continue.
It's okay. I only have bad
There is no
jokes.
more continue. That is it.
Oh, well, yeah. So, this is something I've been looking forward to.
Yeah.
I think it's coming to digital first. I don't know about a Blu-ray release anytime soon. And considering it's MGM, I wouldn't get my hopes up for a 4K. Now you can drink. Other than that, what do you guys think? Let's start with Jesse. I know you were...
I'd rather buy it.
I know.
That's it. Well, I obviously want to see it. I'm going to have to rent it, but I'd rather just
My guess is
it.
they'll probably try and sell it to like some streaming company for...
Shit, I think they should do this to all the Rocky
X amount of
movies and then
time.
put it in a box set for me.
No, but it says one night only theatrical run.
Yeah, but it's coming to digital afterwards. I know that.
Yeah, that's a lot of work to do that.
Dude, I'd rather have a physical copy of this thing.
For real, on Blu-ray.
Oh, I'm sure they will eventually. I just meant that being MGM, they're not really well known for doing 4K. So we'll probably just get a regular Blu-ray is what I mean. But it'll probably be like, it'll come out in theaters, and then like a few days or the same day after that, you can either buy it digitally, and then they'll probably make a deal with like Netflix or Amazon to get it on there. And like they did with the Rambo director's cut is exactly the same thing they did. Which is basically the international cut, but yeah.
Right.
You're right, Thomas. But it says November 11th you'll have an exclusive engagement via MGM and Fathom, followed by the feature being available on demand the next day. So it's going from theaters for that one night event, and then it's going to on demand after as well.
But
that makes no sense.
The downside is they never released Rambo on Blu-ray in the director's cut.
No.
So I hope they do. I'm sure they will eventually, just like in some big box set, probably right when Creed 3 comes out, because that's supposed to be out next year.
I'm playing the long game on this one. I'm waiting for Stallone to pass, and then I'll just get the Stallone collection that has everything. Yeah.
I couldn't tell you, Night
the way
Raver.
he's going, he's probably going to outlive you.
I know.
Honestly, here's the thing that's funny. MGM is really kind of meh with 4K. The original Rocky is available in 4K UHD on digital only. So, like I said, until they maybe put together some massive box set or something like that, I wouldn't know. And it's plausible they did this cut in 4K, because if they probably scanned it for the 4K, that's probably where this all came from. Because for a lot of these recent 4K transfers, they've been going back to the negatives. So that's where they've been finding and all this footage and stuff recently. Like Ghostbusters, they found a bunch. There's another movie or two out there. Friday the 13th, they found some. Not Friday the 13th, Halloween 5, I mean.
Where can I watch more Ghostbusters stuff?
It's on the Blu-ray. But they didn't put it all on there. It's hard to say. They'll probably plan it for another time. And there's some of it out there on YouTube. They showed some of it at one of the Ghostbuster events. And Script knows what I'm talking about, because it's the stuff that Ivan's son was like, why wasn't this in the fucking movie?
Yeah, they showed a bunch of it over at Ghost Corps a couple years ago.
Yeah, and I think the chloroform scene is on the Blu-ray, if I remember right.
The chloroform scene?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Or not chloroform, where he goes like, these
Hashtag
guys,
me boo.
No, he's, what is it? How does it go, Script? Because
Thorazine, I think it was.
Yeah. He's like, He's like, these guys are causing mass hysteria and they use a drug like whatever, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, that's
nerve
not
gas.
Or nerve gas. He's like, that's not true. If we needed nerve gas, we just make it ourselves or whatever.
Yeah.
June 9th, 2021, Sylvester Stallone confirms that the brand new director cut of Rocky 4 is getting a cinema release in November in 4K.
So it is in 4K. There you go. Thank you so much, Fat Steven.
That's awesome.
Here, I'll give you, it's on Film Stories. So Stallone supposedly did it himself. I just checking on it. It took a little while, but there you go. First paragraph.
And I know they're doing the Bond movies because the Bond movies are already scanned in 4K, but they've only got a few of them released. And I think they're releasing like the first 3 or 4 this next year in 4K on Blu-ray finally.
Oh, so, it's on his Twitter too. He actually said it when he announced this that he was going to be in 4K and widescreen. Sorry about that, Tom.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, partner.
The sweat will look more real.
That's right. So and yeah, we want to thank. Looks like that 70s rock fan has been a member for 6 months. Thank you so much as a midnighter. We're keeping an eye out for those messages, guys. Just so you know. But
I'm all over it, boss. You can count on me.
So, Mike, are you looking forward to this?
Dude, yeah, dude, this is gonna be great. I mean, I want to go see it. Man, I want to go see it on the big screen.
Yeah,
I really do.
You should try to find. That's the problem with those one-day things, man. Because if you're busy, you're busy, and if you're off, you're lucky.
Yeah.
I would honestly go for one of the theaters that's actually doing the live Q&A with Sylvester Stallone and try to get in that crowd. That would be one of your best bets. That ticket would be worth the day off and your boss yelling at you.
Yeah, but they're not doing that in Hilton Head Island, so I got to find a theater near me.
Road trip
with Fat Steven and Mexican Iron Man. Woohoo!
Yeah, I don't drive. What are you talking about? I'm in Canada.
Who else thinks that Mexican Iron Man needs a motorcycle?
A mullet?
A motorcycle, man. Give him a Harley.
No.
You could get a leather jacket with the Mexican flag on the back of it. Look badass.
Convert the sidecar into a mobile burrito and tortilla.
Yeah.
No. I'm an SUV Toyota guy and an Audi guy when it comes to sports cars. Nope.
You like your walls around you?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Soccer mom, Mexican Iron Man, pretty much.
Well, you need an SUV for when you do your outdoor activity, like when you go hunting out here in South Carolina, and you got your cases of your weaponry need to be in the back, with your weaponry and the cases in the weaponry.
I tell you what, you were right. You got to have that weaponry in the back, of tortilla can on the front, and you got to go right through all the sidewalk pedestrians.
Yeah.
Script Doctor, you looking forward to this?
Kinda. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen the original Rocky 4, but I'm curious for the 40 minutes of new footage. But with the way theaters are working out in where I am in Southern Ontario, I'm gonna have to wait for it to be video on demand.
Right. Culture, how about you?
Oh, I'm so pumped to go see this. Are you kidding? I don't know that I'll be able to see it in the theater, but if I can figure out a way to get it, I'm going to get it because it'll be cool. I mean, 40 new minutes. I mean, maybe there's some extended fights in there. Maybe there's some other little tidbits that we didn't get. Maybe there's maybe another appearance by the robot. I don't know. We'll have to see.
The robot's actually supposed to be getting cut out.
Oh,
he's going to cut the robot out totally?
Yeah, that's what I heard. 5 Peruvian Souls from Diego Flores says, really, one effing day? I demand a full theatrical release. Damn it. Well, maybe by region. You never know. You can check into that. What about you, Fat Steven? You looking forward to this?
I'm looking forward to it, but to lay it out, I haven't watched any Rocky movies in a long time, so my memory's phased. But if it's extra footage, especially stuff like this that we don't get anymore, especially today, masculine men beating the crap out of each other, yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah,
it's literally freaking worth it because this is the stuff that made 80s heroes.
Yep,
90s heroes. You don't get that. We get now boards of wood called Brie Larson, and that's supposed to be a role model for chalkboards. I can't talk about that thing.
It is a great masculine storyline too, because it's about this guy who is avenging somebody who used to be his rival, became his mentor and his brother, and he watched him die, and he felt responsible for that. But the reason he felt responsible was because he was doing what that guy told him to do. So he could have disrespected him, and he could have maybe lived, or he thought he was going to live, and he had thrown the damn towel. Exactly. that put him through a lot, man.
Adrian.
Apollo made him into the man he was. He was he was a whole different animal before he met Apollo.
He lost the eye of the tiger, man.
Mickey told him how to be like a badass, but Apollo made him a professional.
Let's be real. Mickey taught him how to take a beating.
Hell yeah.
Apollo taught him
quick.
How to win.
Yeah, exactly.
Sean Carter sent in $5. The Rocky IV remake will include a scene of the robot giving Paulie a Kentucky Klondike bar in 4K. What is I'm not even going to ask what a Kentucky Klondike bar.
What would you do for it? That's all I know.
Stephen Otten says, "Hail Tom, Jesse, Mike, Script, Culture, Fat Steven, Wrenches, and Chat. As for Venom, I think the Dark Tower. It's 80 minutes without credits. It's only alive when Woody Harrelson is on screen."
Oh,
well, here's the funny
underwhelming.
thing. I could go see it, but I'd have to end the show in like 30 minutes to go see it.
Oh God.
Well, or you could leave us in charge, and God knows what we would do.
Well, I don't know if anybody could end the stream.
Oh, I could relog in.
Well, you'd have to get a thing, and I don't know if you can. You can try. Yeah. I think Andre's sleeping. Or he showed up probably. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I know this is one of my dad's favorite ones. Maybe I can get his ass out to go see it, but I doubt it. But hey, if I get the chance to see it, I might. If I don't get the chance, I'll hopefully at least see it on digital the next day. So there you go.
And what is the date on that one for the theatrical?
November
11th.
Let's see.
Yeah.
November 11th is a Thursday. Well, we could skip the show and go see Rocky.
Well, you never know. If I get tickets, that could happen.
We could all just live stream from the theater.
There you go.
And show the screen for all of you.
Now, this is a big story going on right now because this actually is very relevant to the Disney/Marvel versus the estate deal. Friday the 13th screenwriter wins big appeal over copyright termination. Who wants to read this one? You want to do it again?
Sure, I can. Why not?
All right. I did not need to know that, Fat Steven.
Okay, fantastic. Friday the 13th screenwriter wins big appeal over copyright termination. Victor Miller is set to reclaim the domestic rights to the franchise from the producer. This is from Eric Gardner. It was produced this morning, and it's an interesting story. Victor Miller once scared moviegoers with Friday the 13th. 4 decades after penning that influential horror flick, which prompted numerous sequels, he's scored an important legal victory that may frighten Hollywood producers. On Thursday, the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals affirmed a win for him in a copyright termination battle. As a result, he's set to reclaim the domestic rights to the franchise. Miller attempted to leverage the part of copyright law that allows authors to reclaim the rights to what they once created after waiting a statutory set period of time. It's not unlike what the heirs of comic book creators are now attempting to do against Disney. Although there are important differences given the Marvel comic books at issue were published before copyright law was changed in the mid-1970s, the Friday the 13th came afterward. And in alignment with Disney's argument, Friday the 13th producer Sean Cunningham argued that Miller contributed his screenplay as a work made for hire and that it was ineligible for termination. In September 2018, a federal judge ruled it wasn't a work made for hire. The appeal hinged on Miller's membership in a screenwriters union. Cunningham's company argued that weight should be placed on how the Writers Guild of America collectively bargains for working conditions, and as such, Miller should be deemed an employee with no standing to terminate copyright. The finding that he wasn't an employee under copyright law conflicted with the National Labor Relations Act. It was further posited by said producer. The Second Circuit, after a very lengthy delay, annoyed Friday the 13th fans for waiting for sequels. let's try this again. The Second Circuit rejects that argument and concludes Miller was an independent contractor when he wrote the screenplay and is therefore entitled to authorship rights. The Copyright Act and the NLRA serve altogether different purposes and focus on different economic sectors, writes the Circuit Judge, my goodness, I can't speak. Sorry. Circuit Judge Susan Carney, referring to one time the Supreme Court took up commissioned works and works for hire. She adds, the Supreme Court explored extensively in Community for Creative Nonviolence versus Reed, Section 101 of the Copyright Act. Uses a more restricted definition of employment, one aimed at limiting the contours of the work for hire determination and protecting authors, the individual creators of works, whose foundational value of the Constitution itself recognizes and Congress has expounded upon. In the labor and employment law context, in contrast, the concept of employment is broader, adopting a more sweeping approach suitable to serve workers and their collective bargaining interests and establishing rights, their safety rights, and pay rights. For example, the Second Circuit panel advises that the determination of whether an individual is an employee will thus vary within different statutory schemes, and here there's no sound reason to depart from copyright law's understanding to mirror labor's law. The labor law was determined to offer labor protections to independent writers, does not have to reduce the protections provided to authors under the Copyright Act, states the opinion. You can read the full thing if you want to. I already felt like I read, basically the whole Bible to you guys. Yeah, that was pretty ridiculous. So anyway, the decision is a victory for Mark Tabaroff, an attorney who has made a good career of representing authors seeking to enforce copyright termination rights. As for Cunningham's company, it might seek a rehearing before a fuller panel at the Second Circuit. If that fails, there could be a petition to the Supreme Court, which might be intrigued by the novel overlap of intellectual property law and labor law. And there is still reason for the settlement, given that the producer retains non-exclusive foreign rights as well as intellectual property derived from Friday the 13th sequels, including maybe the monstrous Jason character that showed up later in the franchise. So there you are.
So is that saying he can possibly have rights to that? Okay.
Yeah.
It says he might get everything.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks
much.
like.
Can I add something quickly to that culture?
Yeah.
Supposedly, this is a huge step in the process, but it certainly doesn't mean that Miller is now free to take the franchise and do whatever he wants with it.
No, it sounds like there's two more layers.
Yeah. For now, until various deals are worked out behind the scenes, which will likely take a long time. For starters, owning the original screenplay doesn't mean you own the character of the adult Jason Voorhees as we know him, and Miller's ownership of the work only covers domestic rights. The franchise will remain dormant, but here's hoping almost at that point where Jason can return once more. Because I even screwed up the game. If you ever played the game, remember how that all stopped the DLC? I love that game. I played that religiously. I had bear traps in one cabin. I stood there the whole match. It was fun.
There's a barn that you can put 3 of them across your front door and be and
then you get that one stupid teammate that steps on all 3 of them. Like, dude, do you ever
when
look
they follow
down?
you and you put out a bear trap on a carpet?
Oh my god! I'm like, here,
on purpose to you.
And that's why I put the keys in front of it just to troll everyone on my team.
But what this does is that, like what you just read out, is that what's always been the argument, right? That Jason is separate because they made.
But
him
now
later.
it sounds like that may not be the case.
Yeah, what this is doing is it's clarifying that Jason is just derivative of what was set forth before, which he is. But the killer of Jason is he's there's been a few slashers that look like that before too, especially with the potato sack. But once he gets the hockey mask, he's very iconic.
Well, see, I think
it's really hard to call.
No, I'm curious what the script has to say to this, but I think Jesse, I think that's where the bigger argument comes in. Is it's not till the 3rd film where he gets the hockey mask and he's basically the more iconic version than the 6th film where
there was another slasher movie where a guy wore a potato sack on his face.
Yeah,
talk about Trick or Treat.
There was Trick or Treat, and then there was a Scarecrow movie.
Well, there was like the Tom that Dreaded Sundown and shit like that too. Yeah.
Dude, that's about a real story.
So, script. How do you think this is going to pan out, or what do you take away from all this? Especially as a writer.
He's on the phone.
Oh, he's on the phone. Sorry. Okay. Wow. So since he's still on the phone, Mikey, since from the law aspect of this, do you have anything you can assess?
I really don't. I think this is, well, where do I start? Here's what I want to say. What we have to, there are two big things going on. One aspect is the whole issue of these types of legal cases and what's going to happen vis-a-vis Disney, vis-a-vis all the great characters that we've grown up with. This is very fascinating. This has huge ramifications. I also think that we have to look at the backdrop of what happened with this recent acquisition, this recent merger of this very writer-friendly agency that's now absorbed / merged with the much larger. We talked about. I don't want to get back into it now because we talked about it at length the other day on, I think, Midnight Edge. But these are interesting times. These are very, very fascinating, interesting times, because if the little guy wins here, I think that's a huge win for us as fans of different properties. I mean, let's just look at the practical thing. This lawsuit played out there. One of the first comments we got in the chat today, and I can't remember who did. I wish I could. Maybe one of you guys remembers. He says, "Oh, great. We don't know when we're still not going to get Friday the 13th again." And you know what needs to happen? What needs to happen is writers and the creators need to get, this work for hire crap thing needs to go away. I mean, you're either a writer and a creator that writes and creates something, or you're not. And all of these producers and these corporations that try to pilfer and try to steal and try to take and basically live off of the fat, off of something else, off of the seed of a tree that someone else planted as a creator, this has to stop, because it's that same type of, I was going to say venomous, it's that same type of leechy type behavior that needs to end. Because the greed of these corporate mongers, the greed of these corporate executives, the greed of these producers, and the hubris and the absolute arrogance of these producers that basically want to get, they want to change 25%, and then it becomes their thing when it was never their thing at all. And in a lot of cases, they weren't even born when the thing got created, let alone appreciate it like we do. These days have to come to an end, because we're the ones sitting here waiting for, okay, well, whoever created, can you just make something else? We're here. We're waiting.
All you gotta do is hire some teenagers and kill them. Can we get this done?
Well, it's awful. It's awful. It's like what Fat Steven was making the joke. I mean, we're the ones who suffer while these guys, pilfer the things that we. By the way, and it's our money that gave value to all these properties, including Friday the 13th.
But Mike, you're saying a good point. The thing is, this is what we've been debating and talking about for years on end, especially more recently, is the fact that Hollywood, as a generalization, has not realized that the crowd controls the money. And if they didn't stop changing it 25% and just let the creators do what they were doing to begin with, they would have a lot more money than they have now. But they don't see that. They're just planting more seeds. They're like, how can we make Jason more woke? I know. Instead of killing people with a machete, let's get him a picket sign and a blue Karen wig and a Starbucks coffee and everyone on that.
Yeah, if Jason was, more inclusive, he would kill children too.
That's what I mean. We'll just turn him into an abortion doctor.
You know what? Why don't we just put extra sugar?
Dr. Giggles.
They should hire Jason.
Why don't we put extra sugar in Jason's Starbucks and hope he dies of diabetes? I mean, where do we go?
Mike, I know they're going to make Dr. Giggles starring Alec Baldwin, and he's going to dress as Donald Trump.
No, you're going to station Jason down at the border, and what he's going to do is he's going to maintain the border security. That's what's coming next. Think about it.
His machete would get dull.
Oh, but who cares? They'll pay for a new one. It'll come out of tax.
What they have to do, though, is they have to put him on the far west side, so he's constantly walking back towards Crystal Lake. And you're just in the way.
Yeah, just make like a big concrete trench where it only has one line to go back and forth, and just put like cabin beds along the way.
Why not just get a blender?
Until Script gets back here,
a slap chop.
I can say more about it. Like, this does open up a bit of a debate here, because it is true. Like, I get what they're saying here. Jason Voorhees, regardless of what form he takes, is still a derivative character. He's still the original character. So I get what the point is here. Is like, Jason was invented in the original film. Albeit hockey mask or not, he is still the same character. And I get what you're saying, Mike, and I do agree with that to a point, but you open up yourself a lot into muddy ground. Like, let's say you have a television show or a bunch of television shows, and you are constantly having people create new characters almost every episode, right? And you never know if one's going to take off or not. to a point, like, yeah, I feel like some sort of ownership or a half and half deal should be able to be worked out. I think no problem. But when you start willy nilly giving everybody the full control over certain characters inside of a franchise, it starts to get real muddy. And then we wind up with situations like this. And I get where you're coming from, but this also answers the big question, though, as to why we haven't really had much come out of the Jason camp in so long.
They should just steal the rights away and give them the Kane Hodder.
Well, the thing is
He's
somebody would either have
one.
to buy them all lock, stock, and barrel, which Sean could possibly do, but I don't think he's going to want to make a deal with Victor.
Let's crowdfund it, buy the rights, and then give them the Kane Hodder.
We don't have that much money.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I don't know even know if we're allowed to do something like that. I'd have to look into because I mean I've thought about things like that before too, but I don't even know if you legally can. But I'm the other side
good
of
at getting people to give me money.
But no, basically what this is saying is the sad, shitty part of it is we have to wait until because Sean Cunningham ain't going to give up.
No,
so as long as he don't give up,
he's going to counter as many times as he can.
Yes, there's 2 more levels to this, and so that means this has been going on now for a couple of years. So that means another appeals court could be months, if not more, out because of the COVID shit.
But there's one thing. One thing that goes against Cunningham and goes for a more permanent thing. Like what in court proceedings, once something is written, it's hard to unwrite it. He's already won this battle, so he's going to continue to win the battles, and it's going to be really hard to mount an offensive to get back if you're Cunningham. Well, so I think that this is, it might be a little plateau while you're going down the hill, but I think there's going to be a drop off soon.
Is anyone else just wanting Jason to pick up 2 half-naked chicks in a sleeping bag and smack them against a tree again? Yes. That's all I fucking want.
I know. Get one of them be Kat Dennings.
Do you want to throw pot and have illicit sex? Yes, let's do it. Let's go. Smack them against the tree. Like that's Jason's brilliance right there.
Now, culture. Yeah. I don't know if you were able to listen next you were on a call, but I kind of gave a little bit of a breakdown there. I'm curious to hear from a legal side of things what you take away from this.
Okay, so in my limited understanding of contract law, from what I'm exposed to on a regular basis, this is all going to fall within established precedent. So as more and more of these cases come and go through the process here in the States, you're going to see it essentially being put in a position where everything will turn into a fait accompli, meaning that there won't be any useful. There won't be anything useful that's done by appealing these decisions, because they're going to be decided in the favor of the author, if that or the creator in these cases, more and more frequently because of precedent. So the more you can establish that precedent and it's reinforced over time, the more it will be. It'll be looked at as, just this is how things work. And we actually need more of these cases to establish more of that, book law. So I don't know if Script would agree, disagree, but I mean, that's kind of the way, these things look like they go to me. And it's the same thing in, the businesses that I've worked in where the contracts are governed by, previous case law. I mean, every time the case is decided and it's decided the same way and it does it multiple times, you've established, a legal precedent that's really hard to fight in the future. And I think Cunningham's already up against it, considering he's now lost twice.
Right.
And one of them is the second, at the Second Circuit. That's like, there's not a lot more.
This is the appeal. I think he's got the Second Circuit and then the,
he's got one more to go. So, so we'll see, but I don't think he's got a case. I mean, he can try to exploit the character again for another go.
Can he though? That's the question. Because
hard to say. I mean, a lot of it depends on, and again, I don't know the decision. I mean, I didn't read anything associated with the original decision, so I don't know if he can work on it till it's decided through the appeal or not. I don't know any of that, so it's hard to say.
As far as the original decision goes,
I don't know what
got out of it.
Yeah,
named Friday the 13th,
right?
But the big thing up in the air, because Victor Miller got the rights to everything that's in the first film, the characters, everything,
right?
And now I never really thought about it until this brought it up as a point, because
right.
I just thought, oh yeah, it's a different kind of character because they do this and it's an adult and he's this, but it really doesn't matter, right? because it's still a derivative of the same fucking character, and that's where I wish Script was here yet. Hopefully he'll be back soon because he's also knows some things about this stuff too. But he's back, thank God.
Oh, awesome! Good. Yeah.
May I ask a quick question with this in general when we're looking at stuff like this across the board, not with this Friday the 13th? Is it like we're slowly watching the funeral of franchises just because it's all being held up within these type of appeals and cases? We're literally we're at the wake and the mourning at the same time, hoping for either one to celebrate or not celebrate. It feels like we're now in the presence, like everything is now a funeral.
I don't know about that so much as it feels like more or less some of the creators are getting the chance to take some of their power back because this law was put into place in 77. So we're just getting to the point where some of these people can do this. And I feel like the reason this one's under such a big spotlight now more so is, as it clearly says in this article, more than it was before is because of the Disney case. But Script, now that you're back, kind of give us your breakdown of this whole thing, especially from the writer's point of view.
Yeah.
Well, I say this is kind of a good win for the screenwriter, whose name has just escaped me at the moment. Sorry, it's just on a
Victor
phone.
Miller.
Actually getting something very similar to this. I just got an assignment deal, which is a different parameters to what we have here, where this guy, he created all the characters in Friday the 13th Part 1, and then negotiated a deal with the producers and studios to make the film. And in my case, I'm given existing characters, and I just have to write a story with them, so I don't have any ownership of that. So that would be considered an assignment contract. And it's really good that the judges did decide in this case that it wasn't a proper work for hire assignment job, that he was something that if he created on his own, and I think that's a good thing. But at the same time, I'm concerned of how this might change if it goes to something like the Supreme Court, because they might not interpret the relationship of that first film the same way as the Second Circuit Court did. And if that ends up being the case, then that could compromise a lot of other creators who are maybe hired in a similar version, which is still being practiced to this day, where they can even create characters for a studio, for a franchise, and not have any actual ownership of those characters.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was thinking too. But so far, Victor has won the original case, and then he won
the appeal.
The appeal. Because what this is actually, because we got to be clear, this isn't anything about Victor. Victor got his rights back. What this is Sean Cunningham suing to stop that from happening.
There's something bizarre in one of these articles about this. It says that he gets rights to everything except for the motorcycle cop in Part 1.
That's weird.
Or
that is weird.
Part 2.
Well, it's possible that particular motorcycle cop was something added by the director or somebody else.
It says it's just a scene that was added by another screenwriter.
There you go.
It wasn't in the movie. Yeah,
odd.
it wasn't in the
That's
original
odd.
script. That's why. But no, this makes absolute sense. So, okay, Script, under that, what you just told us, that's where the big question always lied, was okay, fine, he gets the rights to everything that's in the movie. Sean gets the rights to the name. So Sean could go out and make a million movies that have the title Friday the 13th. But what he can't do now then is use anything that's in the first film. And does that mean he can't do something similar? And at the same time, we brought up the derivative factor of Jason, right?
Well, actually, he's derived, not derivative. That's different. But yes.
Okay, sorry.
Basically, what he could do, he could make any type of Friday the 13th film, and he can refer to those characters in name, but not actually show or use them on screen or develop their stories. So if they want to use the name Camp Crystal Lake or the stories of Jason Voorhees, they can say that, they just can't show it.
But that's the thing then. So is
what kind of right is that? That makes no sense.
Is adult Jason though?
Well, it's just like how you can
name character though. That's the question. I guess it's on the table.
Well, yeah, because adult Jason is derived from kid Jason.
That's what I was asking. Yeah.
And then to answer your question, Mike, it's the same reason why in any other movie, or you can actually say, oh, Batman, do a reference to Batman verbally, but you don't have to show anything because again, it's a publicly known character. As long as you're not profiting off of the fact that it's a Batman or Jason physically in your film that's doing stuff in a non-parody way, you can talk about it all you want.
Well, let's say there's a fine line to that, right? Because, yes, you can talk about Batman, but if it's a non-Batman project, can you legally technically do that? Act like you're in the same universe?
Yeah,
absolutely. There's tons of movies that refer to Batman.
They're in not refer to him, but I mean, they act like they're in the same exact fucking universe, though.
That's way different.
That's what
I'm talking about. Well, take a look at it this way: the Kill Bill speech about Superman.
Yes.
not the same studios. Don't own the character.
No,
you can talk about
I
them.
get that. I get that. That has nothing.
And that's as far as you can kind of go with it.
But that's what I mean. So you could make a Friday the 13th movie where you could talk about Jason like he's a fictional character. You couldn't talk about him like.
No, you can also talk to him about a real character as well. Yes, because again, it's under the umbrella of Friday the 13th.
Okay.
I have a question that's going to sound kind of ridiculous. I don't want to insult the Jason franchise, but is there any way they can do another movie like in the same type of feeling, but instead of Jason being an actual physical character relating to the other movies, it is now a physical representation related to those other killings, but it's another manifestation of the same type of demonite?
No.
Another demonite with a different name?
Yeah, you could be Karen. No, I mean, I'm just using a random name, but like, is there any way they can still maintain the Friday the 13th, but apply it as the same type of demonic presence that never dies, that always comes back the same day, the same killings?
No, because cross the reaction of part 5 and part 9.
No, technically you could create a new character that has the same gimmick, but the origin would have to be different, and the supernatural aspect would probably have to be a little different too.
So
but the result can be the same, like an unstoppable killing machine.
More than 25%.
So script and/or Tom. So in the industry nowadays, have lessons been learned, and now this stuff is settled out for people in the industry now going forward, or this thing still floats? How this case evolves, it's going to affect all kinds of people everywhere.
It's going to have a ripple effect. The most positive outcome is that writers that do create original works are a bit more specific in the contract negotiations of what they are able to retain and for how long.
Question. I have a question. Let's say that we're starting like a reboot, but not actually a reboot. Let's say like someone like kid or someone finds the mask of Voorhees, or finds that like the hockey mask. Can they go down and start a whole new trilogy, a whole new whatever it is, a whole new series?
You're talking about the Tommy Jarvis storyline that they never did.
Technically, yes, but Tommy Jarvis was created by whoever it was that wrote part 4. And I don't know if then here's the thing, and that's my
let's complicate a little more, shall we?
No, actually, that's the question I wanted to get to script to next, because that kind of falls under what you're talking about right now, because that was a big question that goes along with what Mike was saying earlier. Was this like, okay, let's say for the sake of argument, you're brought in as a work for hire, like you're saying, but you create a new character underneath that umbrella. Where does that set in the rights? Is that all under how your contract's written out?
Yes, contract specifically.
So, okay, because here's the thing, is the argument made. Okay, Victor Miller, he was brought on to write Friday the 13th, but at that point, all Sean Cunningham had was the name, and he said, make me something like Halloween. Victor Miller, argumentatively, and that's why he's able to hang on to his rights thus far, created the storyline, the setting, the characters, the entire idea that falls underneath that name, even though if Sean Cunningham had more proof that he had come up with more of the storyline, then there would be more of an argument, right? Okay, so after that, though, once you hit Friday the 13th Part 2, no matter who they bring in to write it, it's already an established franchise, IP, all that shit, right? So at that point on, if you create new characters, who owns them?
Again, that's negotiated by at the time. So, for instance, the Victor Miller stuff, the way that it was done, because he said, I have the title Friday the 13th, give me something like Halloween for this thing. What Victor Miller had the opportunity, especially in that type of contract negotiation, is that even if he wrote the script, if it was rejected, he could still take that script and use it anywhere else, because it's not predicated on the concept of Friday the 13th.
Right.
Like, it's a very abstract, but the title almost has no relevance to the actual happenings of what's going on. Aside from
they could just change around a few things and write a new backstory, make it a new thing.
No, I mean, for the very first film, like the very first film has nothing to do with it, right? So he could have taken that script and sold it anywhere. It would have been retitled something else, maybe like the Voorhees Murder or whatever, or Campus Lake, whatever. That's primarily why he won.
Yeah. Now, could have been a troll and called him Josh.
Well, let's
could have done that too.
It also goes to the precept, if you actually created an urban legend story, I'm not quoting those movies at all, but if you turned a new franchise while using the same concept of a murderer or demonic force and made it the story of or legacy of an urban legend, he can still get away with that and proceed to have as many movies as possible, as long as it's not directly affecting the original franchise characters, right?
So to a degree, again, it comes down to the negotiations. Now, let's use the situation that I just awesomely got a few minutes ago. So I have an assignment script where there's existing characters, existing things. I'm going to submit work on a story that they asked me to write, and they gave me specifics. And if I happen to come up with a character before I'd submit the script, I would then go back and say, listen, I need to renegotiate for this character because this is the character that's going to achieve the goal of your story. In which case they can either reject it and terminate the idea, which is perfectly fine, or we can go back and add another clause to the contract saying that I own this character pertaining to this series, and any use of that character in future iterations would require a payout to me. And that's part of the negotiating aspect of screenwriting. Now, not everybody is able to negotiate that. I'm also thinking like, even if I do come up with that character, they're probably going to reject it and just say, make it work in some other way or use this existing character to do what I'm having the new character to do. And you just go from there. It's just, that's give and take. But yeah, like that's kind of like the way it is. The way it should really be is that if you are a screenwriter and you're an assignment gig and they're saying either they give you the parameters of you can use these existing characters, or whatever character you make under this assignment is still owned by the studio and not you, because this is an assignment project. And in that case, as a writer, I'd strongly advise make the characters great, but don't make them so great that you'd want to make money off them in the future.
I actually have an example of
or
that. Or
kill all of them off except for the killer.
It's actually within the Friday the 13th franchise. Adam Marcus, who directed and wrote Jason Goes to Hell, he's been planning on doing a Creighton Duke-like character movie because he can't get the rights to Creighton Duke because it's owned by basically Sean Cunningham. So so he either has to pay the rights or get it written off. It's like a whole convoluted thing. He's working
same thing with regards to the characters in Star Trek, Nick Locarno and Tom Paris. It's the same character, same actor. They just had to change the names because they didn't want to pay the guy who wrote that episode, because that guy had a stake in the creation of that character for that episode of The Next Generation.
Wasn't he also Mr. X on the X-Files?
Robert Duncan McNeil?
Not,
I don't know his name.
I don't know. But Culture has some breaking news for us here. But before we grab that, Pablo Papano says if Victor Miller had the rights, I don't think the franchise would have reached its height. That's a very good point, but we'll never know because he didn't. But the guy who kind of ushered it more along was Frank Mancuso Jr.
Yeah, because he would have went down a completely different road.
Oh, very potentially.
Just because of that ending from the first one with when jumping out of the water, he would have went down a whole different road.
Probably still would have been a kid, never got big, never got strong.
He would have been like some kind of weird being.
We don't know.
Not a big ass cool Jason.
Yep.
But yeah, so like you never know. But at this point, I don't think that doesn't even factor into the case, unfortunately. It just factors into the fact that it's lucrative, and they'll no matter what happens, it's within Victor Miller's interest to work something out with whoever, right?
Yes.
Well, that's one thing to always keep in mind.
Yeah, Sean Cunningham is likely, if he's going to go anywhere, the next step's the Supreme Court. The question is he have enough, will to get there? And
it's not only that, he has to sit down and say, well, is it worth it more to me to just probably buy Victor out, maybe, than it is to just keep going with this in court kind of thing? And the only
because eventually what happens if you get to the Supreme Court level and they just decide they don't want to hear it, it's not important.
If they don't want to hear it, you still lose. If they hear it and you lose, you really lose, and then everybody else hates you because now you've established a deep precedent with the Supreme Court.
Exactly. And that's what I was going to get to, Culture. Thank you. As I was going to say, because that's the reason this court case is so important now, is that it's probably gonna predicate what happens down the road with a lot of other cases. And I have a feeling if this case does finish off the way it is, you're going to see a lot more people go after the rights to things. Because has John Carpenter even tried to get the rights back to Halloween yet? Because I bet you he could.
He can't, because Bob Clark technically has them.
Oh, really?
Because Bob Clark created that template with Black Christmas, and he gave it technically through permission for John Carpenter to do the same thing for Halloween.
Okay.
Weird. And that's what the estate there. And the thing is, the reason that they're still able to make Halloween films is because there's still an understanding and friendship between that estate and whoever owns the current Halloween rights today.
All right, so we got some breaking news here.
Yeah, this broke just less than 20 minutes ago. I tried to grab it right away. Disney and Scarlett Johansson have resolved the Bitter Black Widow Profits lawsuit. Well, that's a good thing. She probably wants to do business with them again, and CAA probably really wants to do business with Disney again. Just days after the first court hearing in Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow Profits and Megabyte lawsuit on that was funny. Very funny. Disney was pushed back to March 2022. The Oscar nominee and the House of Mouse have made peace. This is a quote. "I am happy to have resolved our differences with Disney," said Johansson in a statement released Thursday. "I'm incredibly proud of the work we've done together over the years and have greatly enjoyed my creative relationship with the team. Look forward to continuing our collaboration in years to come."
What
the love was shared by Marvel owner Disney. "I am very pleased that we have been able to come to a mutual agreement with Scarlett Johansson regarding Black Widow," said Alan Bergman, chairman of Disney Studios Content. "We appreciate her contributions to the Marvel Cinematic Universe and look forward to working together on a number of upcoming projects, including Disney's Tower of Terror." So that thing just got it back onto the
slate. Yep.
Yeah, that had gone. That would have been taken off. So
this is very interesting turn of events.
I wonder why. Anyway, neither side gave any indication how much money was involved in the settlement. Probably not that much.
Never will.
Yeah, but the deal ran to the tens of millions. A source close to the matter tells me. I doubt that's true.
Wow.
I doubt that's
If it went tens of millions, it's like $11 million.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Did they even say how they solved it, or what was the repercussions, or we're never going to hear it?
Money.
Well, I know it's money, but
okay. Well, I have a feeling I know why this is happening now. Like we had those two we had the big merger,
ICM and CAA,
and all of a sudden you had Ari Emanuel come out and say Disney is doing right by its
by its talent.
Yeah, which are all their clients.
You also had the triumphant numerical toutings of Shang-Chi, Rabbit Chicken Extraordinaire.
Well, we all predicted this shit was going to happen.
Yeah,
I think that the stock was dropping. They just needed to stop the bleeding on one more thing that's going wrong.
And all of this story is wrong because it had been moved from a lawsuit back to arbitration, because that's where the first element of the contract is. So they put it in the proper venue, which was in front of an arbitrator. I guarantee you they showed her the papers and said, "Look, we told you we were going to honor these. We're going to honor these," and so on and so forth. So it's very interesting.
I bet you the settlement was actually about 30% less than what she was originally required.
At least, yeah. I mean, if she was seeking 50, and they were already going to give her X amount of dollars. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, well, I would say this way: if they said that, yes, because of the Disney Plus stuff, you were going to get an extra 35 to 50 million. And then she did this lawsuit. She's not getting 35 to. She's getting like 10 to 12 million. That's like a punishment thing for dragging them through.
But she's also getting confirmation from Disney exec that there's a future movie offering.
Yeah, because I wouldn't be surprised if we hear just before that movie hits or just after that movie hits that Scarlett Johansson has moved over to WME from CAA.
That's what I'm curious about. And or I also posited that what if they're going to oust Brian Lord with this whole thing?
They may. It's hard to say. Although Brian Lord
too early to tell right now.
Too early to tell right now. Yes, but
I mean the maneuver to look. I mean, Ari like really took that deal to task. If you read between the lines of what he was saying, he's like that's kind of a small dwindling agency that they acquired. To acquire some below the line talent and stuff. And and then he's like, yeah, we just grow organically, and it's working really well for us. So it's like, okay, it's amazing. My guess is Brian Lord may have overplayed things, but he did it for a good reason, because he wants to try to show everybody that's that's with them, CAA, that they're with an agency that'll stand up to the biggest studios for them. So.
Even if it's a stupid argument.
It was dumb. I mean, it was dumb, and they like I said. I mean, you can't. Like I said, you always push it to the proper venue. In California, most of your contracts require arbitration, right?
Yep. So, well, I mean, if there's any dispute, they push it for arbitration. Ideally, it's kind of better to get into the actual court system, because you're not dealing with a retired judge. You're dealing with someone that actually cares a little bit, speculatively, of course. But on top of that. William Morris is quite correct. Like they do grow, and basically CAA just bought ICM so that they could also cover sports talent.
Yeah. Well, or do a better job at it. But it's also again a dwindling agency. It was good timing for both CAA and ICM, but at the same time, Ari's not wrong. I mean, Endeavor continues to grow.
And
like
Denver's
gangbusters.
still number one. I think it's been number one
Yeah.
for 4 years straight. CAA has been number two. UTA is kind of number three, and they keep going down the road there. The only thing that's really tragic out of this is that we're losing another opportunity for an established agency with access, and all the people that are going to be fired from CAA, and there's going to be a lot of them, are going to start their own agencies. They're going to have it's going to take a good 5 years for them just to even get noticed by a studio.
I'm not sure that. Well, it depends. I mean, if there's some names and they get some money behind them, I mean, we've seen it before.
Yeah, true. But like getting a good name for them to be kind of like their staple, that's going to be tricky because there's not a lot of bravery. Is a very rare trait in Hollywood when it comes for talent. So
that's true. But if talent's being marginalized because of their status as far as whether or not they've subjected themselves to some kind of a treatment or
they check some certain boxes. Yeah,
exactly. So it just depends. I mean, you can establish yourself with a strong person there, and I mean, you can grab some of these billionaires that have come out with some strong takes that the rest of the industry doesn't like, and if you represent them, and people want to work with them, that's kind of a way to go at it. But anyway, I thought that was interesting.
But unfortunately, the model for all new agencies is copy what the big boys are doing.
Right, which doesn't always work because you don't have the same kind of numbers that they have.
Exactly.
But,
Did anybody else have anything to add to this? I'm sure we'll talk about it tomorrow morning. But
ScarJo's
there'll be more because I guarantee you Dominic got that out really fast because it was poorly written and edited. So
they even got the punctuation wrong.
it was not good. Not good.
Honestly, I'm just curious if it affects the stock price at all. Which I don't really think it will. I really don't think it will. Tell you the truth, I don't think.
I don't think it'll end up offsetting itself because Venom's gonna.
Man, 20 to 100, 20 to
weekend, so
20 to 60 million in terms of a lawsuit by ScarJo and Disney is literally the equivalent, Jesse, of say someone makes $100,000 a year and we're having a conversation over $10.
Yep, for real, exactly.
Well,
it all just comes out in the wash. It doesn't matter. It's all just mixed in.
Yeah, but her highest side of that would have been 50, and there was no way in heck she's getting close to that number. I'm just gonna say she's getting compensated for what was behind the scenes in the Disney Plus money, like they told her she was. So we'll see. And me too. I can't wait to hear what Cameron says.
Cameron should be here tomorrow morning, I believe.
Yeah.
So.
My only last thing with the way it might affect the stock price is that the stock market has nothing to do with finances. It's purely psychological. So if enough people find this to be souring, it might go down a little bit. But I don't think anybody's even going to hear this story. I think it's just going to go right under the rug, and I think everything's going to keep on going exactly the way it is. I don't think it's going to affect anything.
I hope not. This is an interesting one, right?
So, Mike, what you got here?
Well, hot off the press from an hour ago. Let's see. Hold on. Where's my link here? Let's see.
You said you predicted this.
Well, I did. We were a few months ago. We were talking about. There was an article that we talked about AMC and what was going to happen and COVID lifting. And this was months ago. This is even before I started going back to the movies. I'll just read it real quick. Top movie theater operator AMC Entertainment has retired $35 million in high interest debt, the latest step in its effort to stage a financial comeback from COVID-19 and keep pace with the fast evolving movie business model. The repurchase of the secured notes, which carried an annual interest rate of 15% for cash and 17% payment in kind, reduced the company's annual interest cost by $5.25 million. The company said about $65 million of high interest notes remain on the books. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going to fast forward a little bit, get right to the end, which says the devastation of COVID-19, which shuttered production and kept movie theaters closed for months, cut off virtually all revenue for AMC during a grueling stretch. A funny thing happened on the way to presumed insolvency, however, and that was that the company shares became retail investor darlings, along with those of GameStop and other, quote, meme stocks. The red-fueled upswing enabled the company to funnel proceeds from the increase in stock into righting the ship. This year has brought positive news in terms of the general reopening of retail businesses, the return of full-scale film production, and the rollout of vaccines. I think that was funny that they mentioned that in there. AMC shares today climbed 7% to $38 a share. 1 year ago, they traded at less than $5. So basically what's happening here, I have three comments. Comment number one, is people predicted AMC would die. It didn't. I had a conversation that with the stock price going up, that I said that in a previous show that they were going to buy back some of their high interest debt. That has now happened.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I predicted that on the show Midnight Edge After Dark. I said, you know, with the stock going up, I said, I bet they're going to bring back the. I mean, I know this is so kind of boring, but here's what's interesting to me. What's interesting to me is that with the financial health of the theaters getting stronger, that also, by the way, puts them in a stronger position in terms of the studios. And I also think that it's interesting that this appears in Deadline and that this got released an hour ago. It's a signal that, hey, the movie theaters aren't dead. And AMC is certainly what we would call a flagship movie theater chain, without a doubt. And by them doing this, which they can keep doing this, because, I mean, the difference between $5 a share and $38 a share is astronomical. So basically, all of the money that they borrow to expand pre-COVID, they're going to be able to take care of that debt. And that means that they're more independent. They're in a stronger financial position, and they can really decide what direction they're going to go and have additional muscle behind their own value of their own stock. I think this is great news for the movie industry.
I hope so.
It tells me this: they're not closing anytime soon.
Do you think that eventually, when it plateaus and it hits the area where it's going to, rest as a natural point, do you think that's going to be higher than the $5 and change that it was previously?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's at $38 a share. See, what happens with investors is that when they pay down debt like this at this level, where 15% interest. Good God! Right now, my clients are borrowing at 3 to 6% right now. But these were different times. This stock price isn't going to go down anytime soon. I mean, it'll take something weird or different to bring it down. But basically, by paying off these high interest yield, that has almost eliminated the shot that it's going to crash all the way back down to $5, because investors love this type of news. They love hearing debt's going to be paid down. They love hearing that the stock equity price is solid. They love hearing that they're in a stronger position. Good for them.
Culture, as I say, you want to say something, then it sounded like Fat Steven wanted to say something.
Yeah, I mean, and this comes on the heels of considering this, that this was, remember we started to talk about that China was losing its love affair with Hollywood and everything else. Wanda Group sold off $429 million of investment in AMC. I had to pull the story back up in Forbes. Way back in May. So this was part of, essentially retail investors getting AMC out of hock with that particular company, the Wanda Group, and at the same time putting them in a position to retire debt, which is exactly what current leadership there told us they were going to do, Mike. They said that in the last quarterly. And again, they staved off, the rating that was happening by all the, short sell, right? Essentially the Reddit folks and the people within the stonks, they pushed off, they created a short squeeze, and it put a lot of the bad guys in a rough place, which was really very good. And if we could do that more and more frequently as retail investors, it'd be completely worth it. Because if we band together, as retail investors, we can defeat some of these globalist minded, jerkweeds, for lack of a better term. Yeah,
Steven, what were you going
to say? Sorry, I got to take my phone. No, pretty much it was a question, because I remember last year, even some of this year, when AMC was going down and everyone was like debating that we might lose AMC. It feels like the amount of effect going on is theaters aren't going to give up, especially AMC. And it sounds like a kind of like a ray of hope in a way, that not only investors are happy, but people will actually get to enjoy going to another format of theater rather than just stick to the normal one still out there. And
right.
I like hearing the underdog story.
I think overall people are just getting fed up with all of the
streaming
totalitarian shit going on in life in general, and they just want to go back to normal.
People want to get out and all that stuff, and Jesse, people want. But here's the other thing: a few months back, around that time you were just talking about culture. Contrary to popular belief and what other people will tell you, I wrote a video, and in said video, a lot of people took us to task in the comments because it was stated that studios will learn that they need the theaters a hell of a lot more than the theaters need them. And people said that's bullshit, that's hilarious, blah, 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 blah. But look at where we're at now. What did I fucking tell people? They will find a way. What did I tell you?
Well,
Nice.
You actually
more-
said that you actually started saying that a year ago or 8 months. It was
Yeah, roughly like
Yeah,
before May. Yeah.
yeah. I
Tom,
remember
is what
that.
you're saying is pretty much if the theaters need the Hollywood needs the theaters more is because it's more eyes, more chance of revenue, and they want to have a wide range rather than just have it to whatever theaters are still left over, like in a post-apocalyptic. Let's go see the movie.
Well, it's not only that; it's just the access to theaters is currently easier and more reliable than the streaming services right now.
Right.
Because again, one of the worst things, sadly, about the United States, among all its other problems, is its internet infrastructure is terrible,
Shit.
and you can't do great streaming in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Master Clockwork notes that you blinkety blink knew it, if you know what I mean. Hint, hint.
Mike, you can say it.
Fucking.
No, I meant you hit the button, the little video thing.
I know, but I'm just saying you don't have to like censor yourself.
I fucking knew it.
That was stunning and brave, Mike.
I fucking knew it. Oh.
Well, I mean, we're not quite there yet, but yeah, like I mean, we've seen an uptick with the last few movies. Bond is surprising the piss out of me. It has done gangbusters already. It's going to have a great weekend. It looks like it's selling out, like legitimately selling out. It seems like people are reporting packed theaters.
Well, hopefully they'll put a
Want to
lot
hear
of
what
money
happened when
into
I
the
changed
next
my
one where they have a Bond I like.
I should have taken screenshots. I can log back in. I'll bring them back next Tuesday. But when I logged in, there were already 20, 30 seats that were gone. When I moved it to the opening day, which was I had just gotten the email. So they're doing a matinee before the Friday on Thursday in the local theater, and I was there within like 7-8 minutes, and by the time I was there were already 30 seats out of 120 that were gone.
Well, I know there ain't no gold opening helping this sumbitch, right? And MGM ain't got the money to be out there buying tickets.
No, this is all brand dependency right near. Like this is the brand is running this more so than anything else right now. So that's a good sign with regards to the strength of the brand going into the movie. We'll then have to see how well it performs after the fact, of course. But I'm hoping it does well. I'm hoping the reshoots did what they're supposed to do and make it a
It sounds
decent
like it.
movie. Yeah.
I've heard from a few people now. A couple of them I really truly trust when it comes to like gauging woke shit, and both of them said the same thing. It was not overly woke or woke at all in any way. A lot of this stuff seems like they're pushing this towards the media. Again, I don't want to get too much into it because then it'll get into spoilers, but like there are certain things that I think people are going to find controversial, though. I will say that, but I think it'll be a movie people talk about. I believe the word of mouth from the majority of people carrying out of this weekend will decide whether or not it's going to keep going. But so far, word of mouth seems to be well for it.
I consider the entire Daniel Craig run a what if, and that it's not part of the James Bond story. So I'm just eager for the next guy.
Can I ask a question related to this as well? Do you think that it's only like this now because they did the reshoots, or am I misunderstanding?
Could be. That's what it sounds like.
Because it was like, do you remember the product placement shit that went down? What was it, in 2020?
Well, actually, what happened was because we broke this story. It was one of the few times we broke a story in the last year, actually, where we broke the story where there's going to be reshoots. And they're going to use some lame excuse. And lo and behold, a couple months later, we hear the excuse is, oh, the phones are out of date. And as everybody says, it clearly has been pointed out a million times over. That's something you can do easily with CGI. You're not going to get everybody back together with that. You're not for that, especially in the pandemic. It makes no fucking sense. So, and what I was told was there was 2 major sequences that needed to be reshot, and one of them had to do with because of a virus, and the other one just had to do because the movie was testing so poorly because they had 2 internal screenings, and then when they tried to sell it to HBO and Amazon and all these other places, all of them went running for the hills, and the best they could get out of it was a $300-some million offer, and they weren't going to be able to walk away with any less than 6.
Wow.
Yep.
Are you guys following the Dog the Bounty Hunter story at all? By chance?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
It is hilarious. The fact that Dog the Bounty Hunter is not even on A&E anymore, but yeah, he's now on.
Actually, there's more to that. Actually,
He was canceled.
He found the campsite.
He did. Yeah, but he's actually
the dog, the big bad dog.
Yeah. Anyway, he's actually in negotiations for a new series, so it's just kind of also
Who's
kind of helping him
a
out.
Series.
He's even hunting down streamers. That's his whole.
He's almost
precedent.
70,
It's
man.
been long enough. I think they forgave him. I guess
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan they forgave after a couple of years. So hey, that means it's time to forgive Mel Gibson. You hear that, shits?
Yeah,
They already kind of
way
did,
too
didn't
long. No, they didn't. Even with
How about Pete
what was
Rose? Different show
No.
though.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm not about canceling nobody, but when they got rid of Dog the Bounty Hunter, I just felt like that was a good thing culturally speaking, because I don't know what's the deal with that guy, but my God, he does
You
not
mean-
represent me.
Oh, you
or
didn't hear
anyone
why he
else
got
I've ever met.
canceled?
You don't like
So,
the
no, he went down to Mexico and he came back with somebody Batman style. And they didn't like
No. That was a total different. No, I'm talking about the reason why he got socially canceled, like, and then the show got canceled, was because he went on some racist tirade on his fucking daughter or sons. I can't remember what. I think it was his daughter.
Oh, did he now?
Or it was his son's fucking
Yeah.
voicemail about his their fiance
Yep.
because they were black,
Yep.
and ended up using the N-word one too many goddamn times.
Yeah.
How many times?
One too many.
Well, okay, whatever.
But clearly not enough to be completely canceled, if that's the case. I mean, I'm not somebody who doesn't. I believe in forgiveness, right?
What
like-
did Roseanne do again?
Huh?
Roseanne got canceled out of existence.
Exactly. Like,
She
I
didn't
don't
do
think
that.
she should have been fired in the first fucking place. That's a completely. That to me was a.
That bitch did look like the character from that movie.
Like,
She did. She didn't have
I'm
to
not
go to
getting into
makeup.
that debate. What I will say about Roseanne is A, you got to expect part of that because it's Roseanne, and B, I can't argue it too much because that was a deal she made with fucking Bob Iger, and if that's the case, then she made a deal with the devil and she should have known better.
Well, that's
If
probably
that was
that.
gonna happen.
explains
I mean,
a
isn't
few
she on
things,
America's Got
actually.
Talent right now? So
Well, the deal was she promised, but he says this in his book. She promised him that she would behave, and yeah, so that was the big thing.
and she did not.
Yeah, we
Well,
actually
that-
covered
That's
that.
like
already.
me promising that she's going to behave is like me promising I'm not going to rant.
That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah,
he
right.
should've
Why
never
does my name
expected
say
that.
Latino slant? Why did someone tell me that earlier?
That's all right. No worries. You're giving Paulie a little.
Oh Jesus! Like
Still says Mike.
need
Is that
a
what you
multiple-
call yourself when the lights are off, Mike?
No, I let Paulie use my studio yesterday.
Uh-huh.
He's visiting for a week. Fat Steven, you didn't come visit me, bro.
Yeah,
Look
sure.
for
You
me.
want to get past the Canadian borders? Come on down, bro. You can pick up on your motorcycle.
Do not come.
I
It's
want to
not
go to
easy. You can't.
Canada.
I don't know what's going on with Canada. You guys can't travel
Do you
yet.
think-
Who wants
I-
to
I-
rant? Who wants to
Some
laugh the
can,
most
some
we can?
can't. It's very dicey right now.
Just
Some
go
Canada
far
does,
enough
some
where no one
Canada
can
not.
check.
Wait, hold
Right.
on. Let the
Anyone-
Canadian speak. Wait, what's the
If
situation?
anyone wants to adopt Fat Steven Seagal, I don't know. I don't turn on. I haven't turned on the news in 8 months, bro. I don't turn on the TV even for weather anymore. I pretty much turn on YouTube. I work on my crap. I do my shows, and that's it. I cannot turn on the news anymore. Canada's
Good.
messed up, and every time I hear about Trudeau, I want to just take a dump in my bathroom.
Trudeau.
Okay, I gotta go. I'll be right
It's
back.
Trudeau.
Oh,
It's
come
Trudeau.
back. Come back.
It's true. You want to hear me take a true dump?
Okay, who wants to
Dude, the
laugh?
last thing I saw out of him was Black Aladdin. Aladdin's not even black, but the guy. wants
Every
to look
Aladdin,
black
he's been
anyways.
doing that. He's like he has the costume at the raid just to be for photography sets. of him
Apparently,
being
he's been
racist.
doing
Yeah.
this since middle school.
Yep.
Yeah,
The guy's got a problem.
I
yeah.
didn't vote
He
for him.
wishes he was black.
Who wants to giggle at some stuff?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Melissa McCarthy is baffled why moviegoers think that reboots and relaunches are wrong.
Oh no!
Well,
also
Melissa
baffled
McCarthy
by-
is baffled by calories.
She's also baffled by Weight Watchers.
Yeah, by many things. Richard
I was
Simmons
about to
has
say
tried
this
to
got to
help
be a
her.
joke, and
What
then
do you
I
mean my
realized
lettuce doesn't have steak on it?
If
What's
it wasn't
going
for your
on?
hot cousin,
off me, I'm starving.
if it wasn't
not
for
put it on
Jenny,
the
you would
screen?
never have had your first
Yeah.
gig, honey.
Oh Lord. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here. John
From
says
Ghostbusters 2016 over here.
Melissa McCarthy recently revealed that she's baffled. Okay, we got that in the headline. While
We
promoting
already
her
do.
upcoming film, The Starling, okay, McCarthy did an interview with Yahoo Entertainment's Kevin Palawi, where she was asked about her thoughts on the. Why would anybody ask her about this? Somebody asked Paul Feig about it the other day again too. Why are you people doing this? Leave
They
them
haven't
the
really
fuck
done
alone.
much since that
Because
movie
they're
that's ever
pissed off.
garnered
They're-
any interest.
they're
Give
pissed
them
off that we're
flashbacks.
they're pissed off that we're starting to hold the line on this shit.
Well, I know what it is. It's because the new movie's coming out.
Yeah, and
we-
they'll come at her more. Think about it. When this
Yeah.
movie actually drops, the new Ghostbusters drops, everyone, all you're gonna hear is these guys coming out of the woodwork, just like, remember me? That's all that's gonna happen.
Pretty
That
much.
black lady looks like a pro wrestler.
There'd be
next to
one.
them.
There'd be one truth to this: is that they'll say Ghostbusters Afterlife would not exist if it wasn't for Ghostbusters 2016. They'd be absolutely right. And
That's
thank
true.
God.
Legarine says, finally here, what a wonderful crowd. Looking over the panel here tonight, what I wouldn't give to be 20 years younger and a woman. Push the button. I hear you. I wish I was queer so I could get chicks.
I'll be queer.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Oh my God, the logic here is just all wrong, Tom.
You never heard that song before?
No.
It's a Bloodhound Gang song. You're going to make me sing it?
Yeah.
No.
Can you do
My
bad
friend
touch?
Barry Vandergrist kicks me in home at class. Later in the afternoon, some guys in the locker room kick my ass.
Oh, speaking of
I
songs,
say, guys,
Tom's working
I
on
like
some
monster
new
trucks
shit.
too. Want to see how many push-ups I can do? I just wish I was queer so I could get chicks. Dig guys that are queer. Guys that don't dig chicks, that don't dig guys like me. See, I'm not queer.
Yeah,
I'm
that-
too
that's-
ugly. But if it was, just imagine how great it would be.
You know what they call that, right? They call that a fairy princess.
You got it. You've never heard of the Bloodhound Gang before? Come on.
No, I know Animal Planet or Animal.
Oh yeah,
Family,
everybody knows
Bad
that
touch.
song. The
Yeah, bad touch. That's it.
Yeah. Action Com
Literally
asks if Bond is successful, who will get the credit?
Apple.
Well, they're trying to give it to Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Yeah, they're trying. It's not
Hardcore.
working.
She needs
Yeah,
the credit. That's why Indiana Jones looks great, right?
Yeah, when you take a look at the credits, just look for the very last name after the word and that's probably the person that saved it. Unless they reorganize it so that Phoebe Waller-Bridge is at the end, which is then a lie.
Goddess of Whim, thank you. At least somebody knows. Oh, well.
She had the volume off. She couldn't hear it. It was only subtitles.
Bullshit, it's a good song. McCarthy responded by stating, there's no end to stories we can tell. And there's so many reboots and relaunches and different interpretations to say any of them are wrong. I just don't get it. That's going to leave a mark. I don't get the fight to see who can be the most negative and be the most hate-filled. Everybody should be able to tell the story they want to tell. If you don't want to see it, you don't have to see it. If you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. And that's the thing, Melissa. Nobody wanted to see your fucking movie.
Whoa. Well, let's back this fucking train up into the station here. You can reread that whole goddamn thing if you want. All right, just to illustrate my point. This person should never be allowed to speak about politics because everything that you just said before that leads me to believe that I thought I was listening to a kindergartner. How are you going to fathom what the hell is going on in the world or even in this country with politics?
But Jesse, every single one of these people, including even people that represent us in government, sound like they're 4-year-olds having a temper tantrum all the time. They are unwilling to talk about things logically. They're unwilling to offer any effective conversation, argument, any of that stuff.
That's true because they've been working on a plan for the last 30 or 40 years, and now people are screwing with it, and they really don't like it.
It sounds like literally like remember everyone's had that X where it feels like they're upset about something, and you ask them to prove it, and they keep bringing up something about washing the dishes 14 years ago. And you're like, well, you're still holding that over my head. And this is pretty sounds like she's whining about Ghostbusters, and they didn't like it. Get over it.
Scroll up to the fat bitch superheroes.
Which one?
Let's go down. I saw this on one of the streaming services. I started laughing.
Oh, Thunder Force.
What the hell is this?
Yeah, Thunder Force.
How old is that woman on the right? She looks like she's about 60.
What's she?
That's
wasn't she on Touched by an Angel?
Spencer. Octavia Spencer.
Yeah.
Who?
Octavia Spencer, isn't it? Or Spencer? Is it Spencer or Spencer?
Spencer.
You're gonna need a little more hints
it's
here.
End, like Spencer's Gifts.
Then
there's no end. It says right there.
John fucked it up.
Okay. Probably.
Nice going, John.
You know who else got
Not
fucked up?
first
the back of them pants.
You know
right,
what,
he'll fix it.
I can't give him shit for not giving a shit. Okay, like
the costume department must have been constantly fixing these.
No,
costumes.
he'll see it in the morning. He'll fix it. It won't be a don't worry about it.
Everyone on Twitter tag him and get, hey, you forgot an N. Everyone just do it now.
Again, honestly, that's one of the I've seen a few of his mistakes, and that's one of the ones I honestly could give a shit about. Like I probably wouldn't even have noticed it had script not said something.
Listen, on Bounding, they are surprisingly few and far between compared to some of the trades and the bigger ones. So, like, yeah, don't worry, he'll fix it.
Very true. So, like, again, I'm not trying to give him too much shit on it. So, yeah.
No, it's just a friendly ribbing. He knows it.
Okay, so like, do we really need to get into the obvious here?
No.
The shit that we haven't said for the last 2 fucking years about this. I mean, come on, Melissa. This has got to be one of the most tone deaf, fucking reeing, fucking bullshit things I've ever heard somebody say, because nobody liked their movie, and now they're doing the movie that everybody wanted in the first place, and they would have just liked our movie. That maybe things would be so toxic.
Yeah, but what's ironic here is that Afterlife isn't technically a reboot; it's a sequel to the first 2 films. And
it's number 3, bitch. You don't even know that. You don't even know that.
And that's what I mean. That's the whole point of this.
That's why we hate you. Understand it.
That's the whole point of this shit.
Just go eat Twinkies. You like Twinkies were in the movie. You like Twinkies, right?
Well, Jesse, you already asked about Leslie. What's her face?
Nielsen.
Yeah, I was gonna say Nielsen.
She looks like she's gonna walk up and kick Vigo the Destructor's ass.
Sad part is she's the best part of this movie. Anyhow, moving on. Like, she actually was the first one to go out and bitch about the shit right after the movie was first announced. And then you had like Scotty Boy Mendelsohn and all those people going, "Oh, way to go! This is a win for toxic culture."
Werewolf.
It was bad movie. It was so bad.
Chris Hemsworth stole a lot of scenes, and he did very little to do that.
Yeah,
they stole a scene from The Mask. What are you talking about? The whole dance scene. I feel like I was watching The Mask again without Jim Carrey.
I'll tell you this also, script. A lot of Chris Hemsworth jokes are lazy as fuck.
They really are. Yeah,
they are.
Like the best one is him holding a sax and then him listening to sax, and it was like that was the most clever thing they had, and I guarantee you that it came up from Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, like the only line that was better was like, yeah, when he was talking about like the picture deal and like, yeah, why you wear the glass because they make you look smarter or whatever. Like, yeah, and even that was pushing it. Like that was like really low level fucking like romantic comedy writing, right? Like,
it was worse because again, you know what did that role better? Loaded Weapon 1 with the ditzy model. Like they did that way better with her.
Is you had 5 different types of comedy trying to conflict in this fucking movie, right? Like beyond all the other
stupid,
problems.
Dumb, fat. I fell down.
Well,
dumber than the first one.
You had overly aware.
you had Chris Hemsworth doing the Naked Gun style shit, right? Which is the parody type.
The parody stuff, yeah. Zucker and Abrams, Zucker, yeah.
Zucker Abrams type stuff. You had Melissa McCarthy doing her shtick. You had Leslie Jones doing her shtick. You had McKenna doing her shtick, and you had the other bitch doing her shtick. And they were all doing their own fucking things. And the director was off here twiddling his fucking thumbs, not paying attention to any of them.
And not doing the one thing that he should be doing, which is make everyone else in the scene look better. And if everybody does that, the scene works. And
well, we know why he didn't, because he had so much fucking hubris on his shoulders. He made 3 big hits in a row. And now he's just been given the reins to remake one of the biggest comedies of all fucking time.
Yep.
Yeah, and the decision was he's going to get 4 people together who have no natural chemistry with one another, and he's going to say, here, improv this shit.
Well, that's what he thought he could do.
Hip, go fart on the snare drum. I'll hit record.
He thought he was Larry David, and he's not.
I've been thinking of a way we can have me do my drum solo upside down, and I'll be like in a water tank.
Like a pool, floating around like an egg.
What were you saying, Culture? I'm sorry.
You're not exactly lone.
Airhead is a much funnier film. Go ahead, Culture.
Oh no, I was just going to say, look, he's not the guy isn't Larry David, right? And he never should have thrown the script out the window. And you know, the best video on it, believe it or not. I mean, obviously, Script does amazing videos on stuff like this, but the best video I saw about this was Drinker's video, where he breaks down that in just one scene, the elevator scene. Yeah, he shows the elevator scene. This is how we get introduced to the idea that these are dangerous. These are dangerous tools the Ghostbusters use, and then they show the ridiculousness of Melissa McCarthy shooting around like
in the alleyway. Yeah,
which is stupid, right? Versus
cringe,
the 12 seconds,
fucking cringe.
12 seconds, right, to get that whole thing together in a comedic way. that gave you a laugh while they're rising in the elevator. It was incredible. And then you juxtapose that, and it's like a multi-minute scene, and it's not funny.
It's story economy, man.
That was the best part. We had sorry, Script.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just saying that's the best part. You can even remember it pops in your head when you talk about the elevator scene. You're literally seeing Egon just going, "I'm gonna get back in this fucking corner. I'm just gonna, hey, you blow up. I
love that bit.
Yeah, I love that. His face is perfect.
Well, the best
I
line
mostly
is like,
blame myself.
yeah,
Switch me on.
So do I.
So do I.
Here's the other aspect too, is that entire sequence is them using the proton packs for the very first time and us seeing them for the very first time. Whereas in Ghostbusters Answer the Call, they're just testing it out and we're watching them do the test, and it has no actual impact on the characters or what they're trying to achieve because it's in a safe, controlled environment. The other guys, they're in a freaking hotel and they almost kill a poor, maid on the 20th floor.
What the hell are you doing?
I love how in the elevator they're also deadpan because it's so in the moment of the movie with the tension.
Well, that's why
because it's at that moment like before a battle or something, you know what I mean? Where it's like you almost wish you had them liquor balls.
Whoa. Wait a minute.
Yes.
What? I forgot to tell you. Don't cross the streams.
Yeah. Why?
Cross the streams would be bad. Imagine every atom in your body exploding at the speed of light. Total protonic reversal.
I would rather have that than watch Ghostbusters 2016.
Well, no, but I got to do this real quick. Stick. Come on, somebody.
How many sticks is that?
That's a lot.
How many sticks is there?
Only a few people are going to get that joke, evidently.
Oh, man.
Werewolf says, hey, that reminds me, if someone does an adaptation of someone's work who actually holds the copyright on it. Well, you have to get the right, whoever
license it out.
Yeah, you have to license it unless it's public domain. Yeah.
That's more of like a pimping situation.
Yeah. See, in this case, Sony had ultimate control, so that's why they decided to go with Paul Feig instead of allowing Ivan Reitman to make Ghostbusters 3 initially. And I know there's an argument between whether or not Ghostbusters 3 is a 3 actually because of the video game and whatnot, and you can go by whatever way you want to go on that. I don't care.
The video game's a spiritual 3, but really, they had their own ideas.
Until we see Ghostbusters Afterlife, and unless there's an actual, nudge to the game, then I'm just going to figure it as, an also Rand or whatever you want to call it.
I think some of the toys that we see in the Ecto 1 that's in the trailer is part of the game, so...
Could very well be.
There you go. That sums it up right there. Where we forgot the no smoking sign above them too.
Greatest,
no smoking sign.
And then they just shuffle it away to the corner as if that's going to save them if it blows up.
Look at Aykroyd. He's like, if I'm going to blow up first, I might as well look at my shoes.
He's looking at him. Look at the look. Oh my god!
Venkman had no clue. No clue. He's just going. You're telling me this now?
He's like, that was your job. I did my part.
Yeah.
I just realized we have untested nuclear-powered accelerators on our back.
I blame myself.
And of course, right above his head, the no smoking sign.
Yeah.
What's even better is when Venkman's smoking in the fucking elevator.
Oh yeah, they're all walking around smoking cigarettes.
Or was it Venkman or was it Aykroyd? I can't remember.
Aykroyd smokes once he gets off the elevator.
Yeah, once he's off the elevator because he has that. Yeah, that is one of the best.
Yo, you got no idea when I was a kid how much I wanted those night vision goggles he's got on.
Well, and that's the other thing I was going to point out that goes off of what Script was saying. Not only do you have that one scene, but this whole entire scene here put together as a whole. You get to learn what the Ghostbusters do,
who they are,
we already kind of know who they are, but a little bit more about who they are, but also what their equipment is all about, right? We learn what
and how the ghosts function with it.
We learn what the goggles are for. We learn what the traps are all about. In that new movie,
trap for the first
they
time.
hardly ever use the traps once or twice, and then by the end of the movie, they're blasting the motherfuckers and they're just exploding. Like there's zero fucking reason to it.
There's only one trap special effects in the first film.
Yeah, there was more prominent in the second film where they had the cross runner. They got that one. They were doing the traps.
Scoleri brothers.
Well, no, I mean that's what I'm saying though. But in the 2016 movie, they establish a trap, but they only use it once. After that, they just start blasting the ghosts and they explode.
But then on top of that, you close this sequence out with the best scene of comedy in some of the best scenes of comedy in the entire movie, where Egon is using hand gestures to convey the billing amount to Peter Venkman as they're improvising what to charge to the hotel after capturing the ghost.
Which is lost in a lot of
which is lost in the pan scan, but in the widescreen.
Same thing with Rick Moranis' shit in his scene when he's possessed. There's a ton of shit he's always doing, and it gets lost in the pan and scan. But yeah, that's great shit where he's like, but for the entrapment, we're gonna have to ask for 5 big ones.
Yeah, we have a special on proton charging, and that's $4,000.
Yeah, I love the fact it's like, well, I won't pay it. All right, well, we'll just set him free back up.
It's like, no.
It was so
happy
good.
to doing business with you.
You see that?
Yeah, this comment is so dark but true from Night Raven. Did Egon die of cancer because of his proton pack experiments? It's entirely possible.
I don't know. We'll see. The movie's coming up. The movie's coming
soon, kids. Soon.
But look at the simplicity of this.
10 days.
But look at the simplicity of this. We summed up with this one picture, this one memory, and then a little of the scenes attached afterwards. And we talked more pleasantly about a film than we looking at Melissa. I can't even say her name. She belongs in like an underground.
Melissa McCarthy, yeah.
Jenny McCarthy's cousin. That's
great. The after effect of Jenny McCarthy.
He's right.
Yeah, but
that's why she got a job.
Yeah. Oh, really? I thought it was
on her looks. Her husband, because he's a writer or some shit, right?
He's a writer director. Yeah.
Didn't he ever write anything for her?
Yes.
Yeah, most for movies.
So how was he a writer director then? Like, did he get fired by now?
Too? That's the sad part, Jesse. Is
Remember
a lot of
that
her
TV
movies,
show she had? It's like, hi,
Jesse.
I'm fat and I have my fat husband.
Well, that's just it. She was on a fairly successful TV show,
which was created by the fat male stand-up comic, but she stole the scene because of her goofiness. And it's
no continue script. Sorry.
I like seriously.
Yeah, that's kind of what made her
career in hell.
Well, and then I was also going to say most of her movies are low budget fare that make pretty decent bank.
Yes.
Like even some of her lesser grossing movies still made money. That's the problem. So she can crank these kind of. All she's got to do is act like a fat idiot, and women are stupid. Some women, not especially those in this chat, I'm sure are not stupid enough to eat that shit up.
The ones that identify with being fat and stupid.
Yeah.
Is what you're
well,
getting at.
here's the thing.
Much,
like
I hate to say it that way,
her appearance on Mike and Molly got her onto Bridesmaids, and then Bridesmaids was such a huge hit that it kind of spawned off.
You guys got to remember she got nominated for a fucking Oscar for that goddamn thing.
That's funny.
I'll give Mike and Molly credit, but I liked Mike.
Those are.
Wait,
I liked Mike and Molly's mom more than I even liked Molly. I'm sorry. The rest
I liked
of the
Molly's
cast
sister. She was hysterical.
Oh yeah, she was a stoner, like out of it kind of thing. Even what was it? The pharmacy guy.
I can't believe that you fuckers watched this crap.
Yeah, like the whole
people watch this show.
Mike and Molly, I used to when it first came out.
Stuck in a hospital, that's what you were watching.
Well, rhetorical thrill. Here's the thing: I doubt you look for things to identify with in your movies all the damn time, like these people do too. That's the whole point, right? Like that's what I was.
I identify heavily with Alex.
I was trying not to be demeaning to anybody at all, but like,
you want me to do it for you? I can do that
for a price.
For a price.
It's not cheap.
I'll do it for just.
And then Bryant wanted to know about Ghostbusters 2 being so kiddish. That's a pretty easy answer. Between the time the first movie and second movie came out, you had the real Ghostbusters and the toys, which were very, 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 very successful. And then on top of that, you had this fucking family whatchamacallit come in and take over the cartoon and made it more family friendly and ruin the shit out of it.
Yeah, by around season 5 of the Ghostbusters. Yeah, what's that? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that just kind of echoed into the movie, even though they lied to Bill Murray.
Well, the thing is that no one who made Ghostbusters ever thought kids would get into it, and that was kind of like the shocker. Like children loved Ghostbusters.
Well, because wasn't the original script kind of written more R-rated leaning, and then Columbia's like, no, it's got to be PG so they can make their money back because they spent so much on it.
Well, yeah, because at that time R-rated films had a limited theatrical release and limited access to audiences. Again, so they said, yeah, let's do it, PG-13 and whatnot. So they tampered it down a little bit, just a little. They got rid of some F-bombs and
because you had the guy who wrote Blues Brothers and the director of fucking Stripes. That's why. So they were expecting it to be like another one of those.
Yeah, they thought it was going to be, like a Stripes level thing with some nudity and, some language. But they ended up balancing it out. And what ended up happening is that parents took their kids with them to watch the movie because it was a comedy that it was age appropriate for them, and the kids ended up loving it more than the parents. And then that spawned the real Ghostbusters cartoon.
I think the music video helped too. Yeah.
And then the music video, and then on top of that, as the years went on, and the franchise just evolved into a kids franchise without them having to go back and edit the original movie because nobody thought any reason to do so, and hopefully they won't in current era, but you never know these days.
Yeah.
And then by the time they got funding for the sequel, they basically know that their audience is going to be majority of kids and not so much adults. So then they had to gear it a little bit towards there, and that was only maintained to secure financing. But yeah, they did kind of lie a little bit to Bill Murray.
Big time.
Because they said, well, the other part too is that they're going to go in a more riskier direction with regards to the story, not so much the language, because they do get him some good PG-13 jokes in there.
Well, it wasn't even that so much as they just my interpretation, because I when I was doing the research for the video that I did write most of, even though other people say they did, what they did was he was just like resistant to do it. And nobody ever really knew why, but he said later on it was just because he was afraid he could never reach that success again. Yeah. And then after doing Razor's Edge and it failing the way it did, he just wanted to just go crawl in a hole and die at that point. And that's why he didn't do shit for years except for cameos. And then Scrooge, like a lot was riding on that. And at least when that was successful, then he got his mojo back. And they got everybody together, and they kind of tricked him in a way because they got everybody together at one of their old hangouts, and they said, "Yeah, we're going to do this and that in the movie." And they all kind of sat down and had a rough idea, and then they went off and wrote it. And the movie he thought that they were going to make wasn't the same movie when they got to this.
It was going to be a different plot. It wasn't going to be recycled tropes and things, and that's what bugged him. And that also bugged some of the other.
I think you have that version, or we've talked about that version before script, because there is because the only things that are retained in it are like, because like there was a whole bunch of other stuff that was supposed to happen in the script. There was some.
Well, there's a possession of Dan Aykroyd's characters possessed.
Well, that's still in there, but it was edited out. But yeah.
Well, yeah, he almost kills him in the Ecto-1, driving them.
They just cut that into the montage now.
It's really weird that they cut that out because that's the whole reason they had the Ecto 2.
That is true, but they never even mentioned. They just cut it out.
Yeah, they don't. They just started just like, sequel, here's a new car for no reason.
But like the other thing is like the baby played a different role. Like Vigo wasn't the original bad guy. It was the possessed baby is what it was. And there was more to do with that and shit. Yeah, and Oscar was actually going to have like, it was going to be like, he was going to be like fully articulated baby possessed by a demon. So like, but that was going to be too much to do. And then Bill Murray was also pissed because he got in there and he didn't want much to do with slime. And then slime took over everything.
It was all under New York, dude. It was everywhere.
Yeah, it was like that became the big kind of go-to thing. And he did not like the idea of slime. That was one of his stipulations, is he didn't want to get slimed again.
Is that why him and Dana were at the restaurant and the other ones came in all covered? He was pretty much out of that scene, and that's why it was limited to mostly like.
Not only that, he's only in costume like twice in the movie because that was the other thing. He didn't want to sit in the uniform all the time, and he didn't want the fucking proton pack on. So to compromise, they made the proton pack. I can't remember if it was 5 or 10 pounds lighter.
They hollowed it out pretty much.
Yeah, enough for him to quit bitching, like basically. But yeah, like that's why he's kind of like not as active with the rest of the group in the second film, is because when he got there, he just decided to be really fucking.
And that's just getting started, because on one of these shows one night, you kept going and you detailed all the ways he was difficult to work with.
Oh, Bill has a history.
What's funny is, I'm going to read a little bit of Ghostbusters related. Is like I do a lot of the Fortnite gaming, right? But they've had the Ecto 1 hidden under the sheet now for about a year on a little island, and you hit it and it just does the sound. So they're still waiting for this movie to come out to actually attach it to that universe, which is pretty incredible.
Well, and the other thing with to finish up Brian's question is that they also had a lot more tie-ins. Like they had a Hardee's toy tie-in and a bunch of other toy tie-ins, and so they were really kind of gearing it more towards the kids. And that's another thing that upset Bill was ILM kind of took over and it became more cartoony ghosts. Like he liked that the original film had more realistic ghosts in it,
more frightening actual.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like these were more kind of modeled more after the cartoon. As you notice, Slimer was really tamed down and made more kind of in the proportion that he is.
That's the whole problem with the real Ghostbusters.
They Caspered him.
And toward like the last 3 seasons, it's literally called Slimer and the Real Ghostbusters or something.
Yeah, that's when the parents group thing took over.
Those episodes are terrible in comparison.
They are.
The Extreme Ghostbusters cartoon wasn't that bad either. If you actually adapted something.
I enjoyed that one.
It was
kind
good.
of a weird piece of history because that was supposed to be the cartoon that was supposed to go with Ghostbusters 3 that never happened.
I just wish that on that show the male character models didn't look like knockoffs of the originals. I wish they went more original with their
because
looks.
there was originally going to be a cast that they brought in of young characters, and they were going to be Chris Farley, David Spade, Ben Stiller, Janine Garofalo, and I can't remember if it was either Will Smith.
I'm glad they didn't use her.
But this has been Tom. This is literally in game. This has been sitting here for about a year, so they're waiting to do something. It's hiding with the same sheet, same everything like we're seeing for the movie. So they've already known. This is what's great. So we're going to see something big.
Well,
I think we are. Yeah. Sorry.
All right. Well,
I'm much happier that they used Tara Strong to play Kylie instead of getting Janine Garofalo.
Right. Well, I didn't want to. I didn't expect to talk about Ghostbusters this much.
Sorry.
We love the original. No. We love the original film.
It's good as
and I
movie.
just brought that up as just like a kind of a laugh or a lark or whatever. Let's see here. What do we got here? Was there some other stories you guys had here? Dr. Dre and what's this about?
Do you guys remember the time we talked about Ghostbusters? We had more fun than talking about Melissa
It
McCarthy.
is more fun.
Those are the headliners for the Super Bowl halftime show.
Oh, we got Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and Eminem. Not bad.
Oh my God, the '90s are coming back.
No, they are, dude. Did you see that? Like Papa Roach released a song, and freaking what was the other terrible band from then?
Please don't to say terrible band.
Oh, sorry.
One-hit wonders aren't terrible bands. They're one-hit wonders for a reason. It's like saying Everclear.
But yeah.
Sorry, we're not all Neil Diamond culture.
That's true.
Like a rhinestone.
I am my cry.
Sorry, I had that one saved for about 5 months.
They're coming to America.
Don't get us hit
Today.
All my songs sound the same.
They do a little bit, but then they sound different.
Love on the rocks.
Yeah.
I'm kind of triumphant, but then not so much.
This show is not getting converted into a karaoke show. It's not happening.
Okay.
The other bit of news that you sent me here, it looks like it's from Fat Steven, says Sister Act 3 found a writer. I know we talked about Sister Act 3 was coming, and they evidently found a writer.
They found a writer and a director.
And a
director. This is a weird setup. Interesting.
Spoiler
So
alert, they wall Whoopi Goldberg up in a convent.
No one cares about this.
But yeah, real quick.
The
All
third
right, you get 90
installment.
seconds, Fat Steven.
The third installment in the Sister Act franchise looks like to be gaining momentum as.
Wait a minute, it can't be the third one because the first two don't exist because diversity wasn't a thing before 2000.
That's true. So the first fictional Sister Act films that don't actually exist in the franchise that's making a third based off fictional stories that happened beforehand at Disney, sources tell Deadline Tim Federelli. Don't care.
What was it?
Has been brought on.
Federally.
Sorry, I still don't care. Has been brought on.
I like Federale.
I like Federale too. To direct
Any Trejo.
Mad Hurry's.
Mike run. No, I'm
I say machete now.
Now I know what it feels like. Has been brought on to direct with Mad Hurry's Chicago. I don't know who the person this is.
It doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't. Writing the script on the sequel starring Whoopi Goldberg, who has already burned herself numerous times on The View. Goldberg will reprise her role as Dolores. You know what that rhymes with from Seinfeld. The nightclub singer turned nut, and will also produce the pick. Yeah. Thank you. Along with Tyler. So Tyler Perry, really? They have to get Tyler Perry to make it somewhat funny? Really?
They're adding Tyler Perry into this nonsense.
It's gonna be Big Mama's Act. That's what's gonna be.
That actually does add a bit of interesting.
Yeah.
Now,
No,
wait a minute though. Are they
No,
bringing
it
him to
doesn't,
take
Tom.
over for the role of that one guy that just passed away not too long ago? I sadly forgot the actor's name, but he's in Spider-Man and other stuff too. That because he was the cop in the first two.
Maybe. Yeah, he was a good cop.
Name. Ah, shit. You guys know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, and they got the mustache. The one that was always yelling at her because she never could keep under low profile.
Yeah, and then he was in the Spider-Man movies as Jay Jonah's assistant, and I can't think of his
Oh,
name.
right.
Yeah.
Crap.
He just passed away.
All
not
I
too long
remember
ago, too.
about the assistants in the Spider-Man movie is there was that hot chick with the black hair.
Oh, that's
The first one was good. The second one.
That's Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah, get her on the show.
The singing was good in the second one, but the rest of the movie sucked.
Isn't she crazy?
Well, she's an actress in Hollywood, so isn't that a given?
Well, the second one had a Fuji in it.
Fuji.
Yeah, what's her face? The one that said she didn't want white people to buy her music. So I
Oh,
forgot
that's
her
okay. I
name.
still haven't bought her music.
And this was like 20 years ago when she said
I
this
don't
shit.
buy anybody's music. I watch the videos on YouTube.
What are you talking about? I got Napster.
The chick who sang Strumming My Pain with His Feet.
Refugees.
Yeah,
Lauren
the Fuji.
Hill.
She's a
Lauren
Fuji.
Hill.
Yeah.
Lauren
They're
Hill,
trying to
yeah.
make a comeback. She's all bitchy.
No, well, she's in the second one is all. No, well, back then when she was like all big and famous, like she's like, I don't want white people to buy my music. They don't understand it.
Wasn't it the
Really?
song
It's not
Ready
that
or
complicated.
Not buying your album?
It's
Wasn't it
really
that one?
simplistic, actually.
It's like ready or not, here I
Not
come.
buying your music.
Yeah,
I
got-
don't
we
want
gotta
people
learn
with
that.
all the money to buy my shit because I want to be broke. I want
Actually-
to complain.
I'm going to throw down here that Ready or Not, if you can find the drum and bass version of that, it's very well done. Very well done. And that's all I'm going to say. Sorry for killing the vibe.
No. It's all good. So yeah, we're getting it. We knew this was happening, but now this is happening even more so with Tyler Perry. It's like definitely in the movie.
Fuck that.
Oh god,
And-
now it said something about Glad. So they're
Dude,
gonna
that-
try and make it fucking like more like Glee. You watch.
I
This most-
suppose. Yeah, Glad.
I can't
Award-winning high school, the musical
Oh,
the
there you
series, which he created and exec produces. The show is currently heading into its third season. I never watched it on the streamer. The streamer?
He doesn't know. It doesn't
On
matter,
Disney
dude.
Plus.
They didn't think
No.
anybody was going to read down that far, dude.
I'm actually paraphrasing because I lost interest after seeing Whoopi Goldberg.
He's
He
read
is
by
read by-
CAA, surprisingly.
It looks
Yeah.
like words, but my brain keeps making fart noises.
All I want to do is get a Sharpie out and start coloring in all the O's like I did in most of my textbooks. That's pretty much all I
Oh,
want
look,
to do right
6
now.
in the chat.
And look, then they announced Ryan. What?
Johnson.
Oh my God, they're putting the wrong names in this thing. As for Shakar, she most recently penned the 2020 Amazon Bloomhouse feature Evil Eye. Never heard of it. Produced by
Let's get some better
Priyanka.
expectations.
Okay, I'm sorry. I can't look at this anymore. I'm done.
Yes, kids, that Ryan Johnson.
You know that one that's never seen a Star Wars movie and thinks everything revolves around Knives Out? That's the one.
Ryan, you're not gonna try and kill me by me overforcing myself by singing, are you?
You know that one I
That
beat
was
up
my
and
Whoopi
Goodyear rents his head out for a blimp for football games? Same Ryan Johnson.
All right, are you guys? You know what? My brain for the last 2 minutes has felt like. You remember that scene in Full Metal Jacket where they give Gomer Pyle the blanket party with the soap and the socks? My brain feels like that's been happening. So can we just get off the sister act and move on to something?
For
that
some
doesn't
reason, I
suck?
don't remember that episode. I was surprised. Hey,
The wrong guy.
I would love to see it with actual Gomer.
Could you imagine?
I
Why
know.
is
That would
I-
be
Robot
incredible.
Chicken done
Oh,
that
come
yet?
on, come on. Yeah, that's what
Wait.
I'm saying. Like, come
That'd be
on. You guys
incredible.
didn't realize that was a fucking joke. I
Wait,
love
amazing.
Stanley Kubrick.
Where did Jesse work for NASA?
They hit me with the soap again and again and again.
And didn't give me any water to lather up.
And I had no
I had
water to
to-
lather up.
I had to spit in my hand the
Sergeant?
whole time. Take it away, Jesse.
That was
I'm good.
hilarious.
You sure?
Yeah.
Siskel and Ebert give that headache 2 thumbs up. Way up.
On a very special episode of Gomer Pyle.
Shazam,
Oh my.
Shazam, Shazam.
Hazing
was that-
is not a good thing.
It was at this moment Jesse realized, why am I on camera?
We lost
Because I'm just
Did
sitting
Tom
here
just
waiting for my head
cancel
to
himself?
stop hurting.
Where'd Tom go?
I do not. Okay,
I
he's back.
muted myself accidentally.
You just got whoopied.
I went to close the other window and close this one on accident.
Oh my God.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Oh
It
my
just got me
God.
thinking about Fry's grandfather.
Oh shit.
Or the guy. Well, you guys know that.
Well, it's not really his grandfather, but yeah.
This is the part of the show where the shit goes off the rails, kids.
I did my grandma in the past. Does that mean I'm my own grandpa?
I'm my own
Yes, you
grandpa.
idiot.
It's gross. It's such a paradox.
It's the
Miss
Osmond.
coming from Mr. I'm my own grandpa.
Yeah.
It's the Osmond paradox. Think about it.
Yeah. Something weird going on in that
You
family.
gotta hang on a second. This is hilarious. Hold on.
It's the flowers in the attic paradox right there.
Is it Rennie or Renee? Tell me in the chat, please, because I always worry about saying.
I think
it wrong.
I think it's Renee.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's what I
Rennie.
thought. Yeah, I'm not sure either, so that's why I never know. But this is fucking hilarious.
Renee.
Your motorcycle.
Wait, I can
Oh my.
I know. Let me see if I can make it bigger here.
That's incredible.
I love you. You do this all the time. I love you.
Renee is the bomb. Holy
There we go.
cow.
Whoa! Here we go.
You need that as a super chat video.
Yes, that should be that GIF must be a super chat video.
I know, right? I don't
You
know.
needed
my
to drive
goodness.
by just by yelling
If
Congo.
you can
with a
send
speed
that to
bubble.
me straight up, Rennie, that'd be
How
awesome.
the
Otherwise, I'll
hell
get
did
it.
that
Congo.
happen?
Can I just save it?
You are an art form.
Oh, copy GIF address. That's all it lets me do. All right. Yeah, you'll have to
That's
send that to me. That's awesome.
Can you do another one when Jesse's rubbing his head, going, "Why are we still talking about this?" and just have the motorcycle go by into? Can you please just do that now?
Can you just
Honestly,
have
it
one
is-
where a bus hits me?
yeah. You should just have it so like right as his camera goes off and have it with the motorcycle going by just on his screen.
Or just
Johnny-
you know what you could do? Remember Deadpool 2 where he
Yeah.
grabs the guy and he throws them both in front of the truck? Just put my face on that other guy. Because that's how I feel right now. Just put me out of my fucking misery with Sister
Yes.
Act 3. Are you serious? Who gave this the thumbs up? Sister Act
Melissa
3?
McCarthy.
Jesus fucking Christ. And I don't have a movie.
Is this kitchen
This
real?
is true.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a real kitchen.
Johnny wants to
Beautiful.
know what that was, though. If anybody wants to explain, that's from James Bond.
Yes. I was Bond on the back of a scooter.
Well, it looks like
Well, they call that in my town riding bitch.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
let's stream snipe Paulie. He just
Oh.
saw actually he's been going for like 19 minutes now. He just saw Venom, but
Ooh.
he's like
Oh,
live on
crap.
his phone, so I don't know how long he's going here for.
Gary's seeing Venom tonight as well.
I
So-
should have
Yeah.
went. Now it's like starting in like 15 minutes. I ain't
Well,
gonna make
if
it.
everything works out, I'll be doing a live.
Oh,
watch
shut down the
tomorrow.
stream. Go watch it. Are you close?
No,
Let's
it's too
kill the thing,
late.
though.
It'd take me an hour to get to. That's why I would have had to. I told you guys I would have had to quit
Oh,
like way back when. Yeah.
Like an hour
Right.
ago, yeah.
I didn't even go see the first one in the theater. I waited for video. I already
By
know
tomorrow,
how-
it'll be everywhere.
I know
dude.
the big spoiler already, so I'm like not in that big of a hurry. So
You mean Tom Holland shows up and announces?
and
that he's
chances
Iron
are if they
Boy?
talk about it tomorrow night on Friday Night Tights, it'll probably be before I pop in. So that's a plus
Uh-oh.
because sometimes I get away with not having to watch some of that crap. like oh, we're gonna be talking about this or that or the other, and it's like, oh good, I don't have to watch it.
Did
Ugh,
they
I
fix
would be
the
doing it.
CGI with Woody Harrelson's changing form? Because when you see that in the trailer, it looks like Play-Doh's making love to his face. It's really bad.
Okay, here we're stream stipe his ass. Here we go.
And I'm gonna head on back to the Mexican Iron Man Fortress of Tortilla Solitude, and
You didn't go with him, Mike?
Fuck, Mike.
no. I
we,
want to be.
Why
I gotta
not?
be. I
we're
got a
doing a
show
lot of
tonight.
great things.
Well, you could have went, brother.
No, dude, I'm
workout,
here.
Training to
They didn't have a tortilla
getting a lot of
anyway.
business done, and also to shooting shows. So I want to thank everyone for being here and hanging out with me.
He does not know how to hold a phone.
No, he doesn't.
We're stream sniping
Nope.
you. Quick review for Emmy live crowd. Hey, Mead. Tom, you want me to do it now or I don't understand? Okay.
No, we don't.
Okay. Out here.
We just wanna
Here we
strike-
go. Let's
swipe you.
do this really quick.
Tom, tell him that Mike's going through Paulie's stuff.
For Mead.
It's got that Miami Vice style going.
Oh no.
What the hell theater is
Hey,
he
Paulie
at?
here,
This looks
just got out of
nice.
the movie theater.
Now he's all jittery.
Screen. Great.
Probably jumping on the
Um,
Wi-Fi.
Great screen, great movie theater here in South Carolina. While I'm visiting Mexican Iron Man in his Fortress of Solitude of Tortilla-isms. So, Carnage,
Isms.
a lot of fun, kick ass. no political agenda, nothing.
By the way, I want to note that he's wearing my Welcome to the Rebellion hat that came yesterday.
I was kind of looking, and yet I was, just enjoying myself. The highlights. Tom Hardy, Woody Harrelson are amazing. I think they're just silly, over the top, twisted, dark, unique. The dialogue was really fresh. The what else? Then the story was fresh. Tom Hardy co-wrote the story, so I don't want to give any spoilers out. Yes, there are end credit scenes. Yes, there's just one. There's just one. So you don't need to stay for the whole credits, which I did. So
Can I have my hat back?
That is my quick review on Venom. Let There Be Carnage. There's a great cast. The CGI I thought of Carnage was really cool. And I'm coming at this as a complete normie, guys. As a complete normie, I didn't even see the first one, honestly.
All you need to do is play the video game Maximum
he ain't
Carnage.
Getting it back. My hat's in LA.
The greatest games.
Well, I'm gonna have two now. One for me, one for Romy. So
no, he's not. Yeah. Give me my hat back.
That is those for the MEAD crowd just getting here. That is my my 2 cents.
Wow, culture. That's me putting on the hat just to antagonize
Venom,
Mike.
Let There Be Carnage, and that's really it. Let's see what you guys have to say. Midnight Edge. Okay, what gay thing? What? Okay, we got some super chats, and I want to read them. Fat Steven Seagal. That was a popcorn. Yummy. Young neurotic.
Fuck the popcorn. You got him to get away from the gay question.
Oh wait, why does it disappear like that? Polly made me shave the beard. I miss a young neurotic. So he's not gay. There's none of that. It's a Bert and Ernie, the Odd Couple relationship, which is completely
both sharing the rubber ducky?
Strange and dark and twisted, and it works. They're symbiotic, which
They're
I will
symbiotes.
spoiler say that Woody Harrelson's character and Carnage are not. Hey, Wookie. Okay.
Hey, Mike, thanks for letting me borrow your.
The concept of the movie star.
Hey, Mike, thanks for letting me borrow your hat.
Wasn't the whole
he's a great star.
Venom coming out to the world, not coming out as being
okay? I think that's it, guys. Mike's going through your. Tomorrow. Yes, no. Okay, well, that's it. Midnight Edge is stealing your content. It's all right. I steal theirs all the time. Mike's going,
sounded like you said
Mike's
cunt.
going through my stuff. And credit was nutty. Dr. Plague, Mr. Plague Doctor. Yeah, I mean, there's two big questions I have, but I don't want to give any spoilers. What one has to do with the lead detective, which was a really great character, played by a British character actor who was in Snatch. He's been in a whole bunch of stuff. His character has something going on at the end. The other thing is not only the end credit and what everyone's been talking about, but there's something else that happened in there that only I can explain as very strange.
I told you, motherfucker.
Okay, did I read all the super chats? Because
Mike, why are you selling his socks on eBay?
Say hi to Culture for me. Someone just say JPRPH1 just subscribe. Gracias. And I think I got all.
I fucking knew it.
And yeah, Valiant, I do think you should do I do think you should do a video, brother, and get that information. And Mexican Iron Man says, you're definitely not taking that hat back to LA. Well, Mexican Iron Man just got his first lesson in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu today from yours truly. And I'd like to see him take it off my head.
With a lightsaber, Mike.
I'd like to see you try that, brother.
Meet him at the door with a fucking lightsaber. I want it on tape.
All right.
and a puppet. Do it with a puppet.
He gets one lesson in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and the guy thinks that he can all of a sudden hip escape me to death. All right, right? You don't even know. You don't even know. Here's the next movie I want to see, Tom. Valiant, The Many Saints of
Oh,
Newark.
I heard bad shit about that
In the
one.
theater. I'm so here, man. I'm so here.
I heard it's like a bad pilot.
Oh,
I
look
heard
at
it
that.
sucks.
I hope not.
Look at that poster, man. That poster's sick.
Should I
That
tell him?
poster-
Should I
No,
tell
no,
sick.
let him be disappointed.
So that is the next.
Tell him it got great
the
reviews.
I'm gonna come back here to this theater. It's like right down the street from the tortilla farm.
Cry macho.
Ask him where
So-
his mask is.
That is
Yeah,
it,
where's
my
your
good
fucking
people.
mask, dude?
We don't wear them out here in
Where's
South
your
Carolina.
mask?
I think it's time to turn off the lights here.
I like
Okay,
how
I'm
all
getting
of them-
some more. Oh my god, I'm getting some more.
He's getting all the super chats.
I'm getting some more super chats. I
Bought
love it.
Daryl bought his,
classic.
his socks.
Valley
off
already
eBay.
gave, Polly already gave away your mic, monitor, and the other night as trivia prizes. Suck it up, Mike. Oh shit, that's funny, man. That's funny. Hey, he's got a nice setup there in Tacolandia. Mexican Ironman for $5. Lightsabers at dawn for my hat. The time it takes for you to lift up your lightsaber and turn that shit on, you will be flat on the ground, my friend. That's how.
Oh, is he really
jujitsu
talking
guys work.
smack after you kicked his ass before?
I'm just letting you know, brother.
He's
so
talking
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
You gonna let him talk to you like that?
No,
Steve
Joe?
sorry,
Martin,
Bob
if
Tom.
I-
No, I'm
I will
not.
fight you and Mike for the hat.
What you gotta do is set up a live stream
Oh,
later with
Steven,
all the
you're
lights
funny.
in your house off, and
I
then
just
just have
bought
the lightsaber going
Latino
on.
slant socks on eBay. What?
And just listen to Polly scream, "What the heck is this?"
Let's talk
where
now.
is your
Just one
mask for a
lightsaber goes on, you
mask?
start
Let's
whooping
just,
them.
let's just say this: if his lightsabers
Tom,
involved,
where's
somebody's
your
gonna get
mask?
X'd out. If you know what I mean.
Tom, where's your mask? Oh, where's
He
your
doesn't know
mask?
that the lightsaber's on a 10-foot broom
I want you to
handle and
film it from
can't
like 2 or
fight
3 different
back.
angles and send me the raw footage, and I'll edit it really cool. Like,
Okay. Oh look! The mask
Gotta swim.
question, and
Thank
he
you
got
so much for
canceled.
the super sticker.
Look, the mask question, and he got
Tom asked.
canceled.
No mask. No mask.
Yeah,
Kitty Bear.
I'll be
Mike
happy
is
to add
getting-
some special effects and stuff,
This
Tom,
thing
if you
keeps
want to
popping
kick
out,
it up.
guys.
then.
No
Mike
masks, no
is-
mas.
No mas.
Good lord.
I can't see what
Mike
the
is getting
sticker
out
is.
his lightsaber. You better run, Polly. Nah. Okay,
It's a
here's
little
the thing.
fox dude with hearts.
It's
Do you
still
know
catching up.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
It's a little Shiba Inu dog.
Read by nature,
Yes.
I'm a black belt.
Yes. Thank you,
I'm a
Goddess
black
of
belt
Wim.
teacher. Here's the thing. Good night, Coffee and Corban. Good night.
All right, we're gonna
Oh,
stop sniping it, sniping him.
All
here
right.
soon.
What was I gonna
Hold on,
say?
Speaking of
Last
coffee,
super
I'm
chat.
getting me some coffee.
I want him to read
All
about
right,
the
we'll
boxers.
just move on.
All right.
Fat Steven Seagal. Hey, good
There
to
you go.
see you, man. Mike is currently auctioning your boxers for tacos. Oh my god. DD buyers, I'll take Polly over Mexican Iron Man. Yeah, that's the safe bet.
Don't worry, Mike. You
Fat
can live with
Stevie,
me in
put your
Canada.
money on them.
All right. Thanks.
No
Fat Steven.
mask.
I needed a janitor.
I don't
what?
want to get into that conversation. I just want to come out into
I'm
the
kidding.
theater
I love you.
and have a great time. I assure you, everyone is safe. So yeah, that's it. Catch you later, mate. Have a good one. You too. Okay, we're going to stop sniping you, and well, we're bidding on your belongings. I got $10 on your pants. What is wrong with you guys?
God, you know what I should do? I should
All
run
right.
downstairs before
To
he
all
gets
the
back
people,
and I can hide all the shit.
That came
It's
on.
almost Halloween.
All right, he
It's
can't hear
almost
us
Halloween.
anyway.
You
I
can
should
make a
run
scarecrow.
downstairs in his guest room and I should like pack everything in a box, hide it, and set up all the lights.
No, Mike. What's better is you should dress up like Polly for Halloween.
Or just
Just
dress
borrow
up
it-
like
borrow
him
his
for when he
V-neck.
gets back.
Borrow his
Just-
hat, borrow his V-neck, and just to be like the Mike.
Wait, but that's
You know-
my hat.
You could,
Yeah, that-
you could,
well,
you
you
could
can borrow
do
when you
what
get back.
you could
This
do
is-
what you could do what Joey did in Friends and just put on all of his clothes at once.
This has got to be a point made because I've heard a couple people now who've seen Venom. I've heard a couple people now who've seen 007. We know a couple people who've seen Dune. And all three of these, I'm seeing the pattern of pandering to the media, but the movie itself not being what
Yes.
they're selling.
We
Yeah.
discussed
Before
this a few
everybody's
weeks
sick
ago
of
on
it.
False
Midnight Edge.
advertising, technically.
We discussed this a few weeks ago on MEAD, which we said that there's a lot of virtue signaling going on, but that doesn't mean that the actual product that we witness put our eyes on is actually going to be as woke as the perception might lead us to believe.
That's fascinating.
I'm telling you, the first time I had a good feeling, and there wasn't a lot of woke, but it was, oh my God, the movie. Oh my God, one of the first movies I saw, the intern, not intern,
That's Mad Mardigan, by the way.
No, yeah, he is an intern. He definitely shows it.
Who actually had a link to the stream and didn't show up?
That's okay.
Dude,
we're not missing anything.
That's not true. And this is the end of the month, so he's.
Oh my God, Coach! I was going to send a super chat and ask you: is he like married to your sister? How did he get on that show?
I don't know. And you know what?
Do you have another sister that I could marry to get on that show? I mean, what's your fast track?
I say Mexican
I got a
Iron Man
smoking hot cousin, man. She did some adult films.
Does she have your hair?
What?
Does she have your hair?
The Protege movie. I love that movie.
Oh yeah. Because I
wasn't woke at all.
The name of it. Yeah, The Prodigy.
Should we start a petition for Mike to take over for the Wednesday slot?
It's so good that we have script here to correct me when I talk like a hillbilly.
The Prodigy is a different film and show.
Yeah, I know.
The Protege.
The Protege.
Protege.
How about The Illusionist? Does that show work better?
Yeah.
Not bad.
I mean, I gotta say for a meat show, I'm gonna say Fat Steven did a pretty good job here. Showing up tonight. You did.
Okay, I only get 12 months to come on, so you know how Tom is. So it's all good.
Oh, don't start playing that Valiant Renegade.
No, I'm not. That's serious. It's literally.
It's been like 12 months since he's been on. Yeah.
Last it was January. I'm not joking, Mike. That's the joke.
And if he's good, maybe I'll let him come on in 6 or 7.
Thank you, Tom. I promise to never give you $500, but always give you one compliment a year.
Yeah, it just happened to work out that way. Sorry.
How do you say emoji on the chat, bro? Literally, the give me $500 and FU is on the chat.
Good.
How do you say
now you earned it. Legarine or Legarine? Is it a word? I don't know what I'm saying.
Legarine. Listerine.
They love the show, and they're sitting back and relaxing with dinner, and I'm glad to hear that.
Should I bust out the VTube then?
Oh my!
The Prodigy, Grant Gregory loves that band. That's good. Tangerine.
Yeah. That's moist. That's tangerine. That's moist.
Hey, slap your bitch up.
Glycerine.
Then we got Valiant Renegade. How you doing, buddy? Says, don't start playing Valiant Renegade. What, Mike? Finish your sentence, damn it. Or finish your damn sentence.
What he's saying is you are playing the woe is me card because you don't get invited on enough, yet you're on everyone else's channel all the time.
Dude.
So they don't send you an invite.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Valiant Renegade, and guess what, everybody? I'm going to go back in time. We're currently at 914.723 subscribers, and we've got about 3,743.998 pi divided by pi watch hours, and we're going to live stream soon. I just can't wait. Dude,
and also, remember this. We're going to have a 1K subscriber. I'm going to thank everyone I just retweeted at, but I'm not going to invite half of them.
Valiant, I want you to do me a favor.
That's true.
I want you to make me a couple of bumpers for MEAD Radio. Does that... Just ignore these fools.
Teasing? Are you kidding? I would like Valiant Renegades. Like
we all met teasing each other. Come on,
my God.
Like
I would like Valiant's like 7th subscriber or something. As soon as I saw his first video, I called him up. And I said, you're going to Echo Base Network with me. You're going to be great. You're going to get monetized within 3 to 6 months. Let's do this. I love that guy.
You got a new member, Legerine.
Oh, awesome.
Okay. Legerine.
Woohoo! Welcome.
Let me say it this way. I knew Valiant Renegade was a star as well, Mike, and I was like supporting him from the very moment that I could. And I'm not just doing that. Thanks.
This virtue signal is brought to you by Culture Casino. I like candy corn and combing my hair.
Well, I gotta give him a puppy. I'm giving you. Where'd you get that hat? I don't have one of those hats.
Get this hat.
Well, this is technically not me, but I'll just give a minimum effort puppy since that's Mike's favorite one.
Oh, Bambino, why can't you do that yet?
Okay.
See, whenever Tom goes, it goes off the rails if it's not his channel, and that's proven. It's hilarious.
I do it on purpose.
I know. We love having you. Whenever we try to do that on Culture Show, he gets very upset. By the way, has anyone seen the clip of Culture swearing and calling everyone asshats?
Oh my God!
No, where's that?
I'll give you. Give me. Well, I'm hoping it'll become a song.
I do that all the time.
Hold on, let me find it.
I've asked most of my friends if they're mentally deficient before.
You do have a unique way of hanging out with people.
Yep. I like straight up. If somebody says something whack enough, I'll be like, "Are you tarded?" Just a
Hey,
little
watch.
bit.
This is my Jesse impersonation. Jesse, talk about your favorite movie. Pick one.
Clockwork Orange.
Oh, no. Okay, talk about it some more.
You know what's funny? He says he loves us, but he never talks to us.
No. Hold on, Jesse. Go ahead. Talk about another favorite movie. Go ahead.
Another favorite movie. Like what?
You see how I interrupted him so fast? That's my Jesse person.
Imagination.
Well, Mike, if you never stop talking, it's hard to get a word in edgewise sometimes.
Oh, look
The
who's
problem-
talking. Jesse, are you excited? I want to
That
come
movie
visit you?
sucks.
Jesse, I'm
Okay,
coming
kids.
up for
Yeah.
Halloween week.
Halloween week, that's cool.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween.
Valiant
And I
Renegade
haven't
firing
live
in another
streamed yet.
fire.
Are you going to be up here on Halloween?
Yeah, well, I'll text you offline. I'll call you on the cell tomorrow. But I'm
Are you going to dress up? If you wear a costume, I'll dress like Michael Myers.
Okay,
What day
wait a
is
minute.
Halloween?
Why would I come over to your house and you be dressed like Michael Myers?
Because my son goes trick or treating. It will be fun.
Oh, well, I don't know. We'll figure out the date that I'm going to come over. But I'm going to come over because my kid lives like super close to you, and I got to go visit my kid for a week or two. So I'm going to come over 1 or 2 nights. Oh my God! You know what we should do? We should stream from your kitchen on the MEAD on Midnight Edge After Dark.
Ooh.
You and me side by side.
I want a cooking stream.
I don't think both you can fit on that
Halloween is
camera.
a Sunday.
One white guy,
That's good.
one Mexican guy, two
No,
dudes, one kitchen, one guy half baked.
No, if we do some
man.
cooking together, you guys show me
Right.
how to make real Mexican food.
I think
Yeah,
you guys.
dude.
No,
Dude, I'll
you
throw
got
down.
no. Mike and Jesse need to get on stream together and reenact the script from Sister Act 3.
Fuck that.
2 dudes, 1 kitchen, 1 half baked, and 1 baking half of a rabbit chicken.
There you go.
Actually, I just took out of the freezer. I had a half a
Corpse.
prime rib I got to make.
There you go.
Yes.
I got 8 steaks I got to cook up. How about that?
Third.
I'm
Considering
hungry.
I haven't live streamed yet, stay
are you
tuned.
having a
Much love to
party?
Mike, Fat Steven and Culture, adjusting to
Maniacal.
schedule with kids this year. VR always comes on when he can.
Yeah,
So-
VR is awesome. And, a regular hanging out with Doomcock. So it's not like he doesn't stream elsewhere.
Yeah, and he's been through a lot of
Ooh,
bullshit in
God.
the last few months with
Oh,
the storm.
please. He
Yeah,
loves
thanking all of us, ignoring all of us, being on Doomcock. He's a busy
Thank you,
schedule.
Fat Steven. Thank you.
You're
Stop
welcome,
it.
Iron Man.
You guys.
Culture, you don't get the joking around. We're joking.
What?
These are your friends. These are your friends.
We are your friends,
Culture.
Culture.
I know they're
Oh
our
my
friends.
God.
I
We're
got
just
you,
teasing.
Steven.
We're
All right.
teasing.
All right, guys. There you go.
Jesus Christ, she's scary. Want me to be like that fat dude who punched his fucking monitor?
What's
You guys
that?
ready?
Yeah, let her rip.
All right.
I don't know if we're gonna watch all 2 minutes of this, but
So,
that
if you're not already subscribed,
Hold on.
if you are subscribed, you got a unique opportunity to enjoy a whole lot of people just having a really good time. So, thanks for being here. You guys make everything happen. If you're not
Remember, this is-
subscribed to the wonderful people on this, shut the fuck up, dickhead.
3 hours later.
Oh, I love that break.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm about to make another fucking email to subscribe
I
to
hope
you
none
again.
of you die tonight. That's all I
somebody please clip that. Please clip it.
my opening.
I want
Wait, here it goes. Here it goes. Wait. Hold on, Jesse.
Welcome to the gaming lounge. Shut the fuck up.
That's getting put in one of my videos.
I love everybody. That's the problem. I love all of you.
But I fucking love it. It's great. It's
I love all of you. And God damn it, son of a
There you go. There you go. I will never forget that night. Look, he's doing the same. He's reenacting it right now. Hand on the chin, shaking his head, wondering where his comb is. He's down to practice.
It's
Oh, I-
all right.
I know where my
y'all are crazy.
I know where my towel is, so I'm a hoopy fruit.
Valiant
Just under the
Renegade
bed?
says, on the weekends with Doomcock, weekdays now, dead. Oldest just passed driving test. That will help a lot. Hopefully a month and it calms down here. Yeah, hopefully everything will calm down for you, Valiant. and you can get yourself back in.
I love his
shape.
marketing style. It's like, I'm going to send super chats to get attention. I love it. That's an
It works.
innovative.
He's paying us off to be quiet. I think that's what he's doing.
Bryant Barth wants to know if do you hope Stallone doesn't? Did he even direct Cobra?
Oh God, I love Cobra so much.
I don't know if he directed that or not, though.
Oh, such a good
I think
Cobra.
he just rewrote it. Yeah.
He wrote it, but I don't think he directed it.
Yeah, but he's such a good.
He may
Oh
have.
God, he's so good in that film. Cobretti's a great character. Should have been made like multiple movies. There was a lot of bad editing in that. I think that contributed to it.
Here's the thing with Stallone is like the movies that he is the director on. You're pretty much probably getting his director's cut. I seriously believe this Rocky IV business has everything to do with they were probably pulling the negatives to do the scans, and they realized they had a shit ton of material, and it was just a perfect opportunity for him to do it, kind of thing. And you know, it may have been something that he had expressed wanting to do in the past, and it's kind of a gimme for, you know, Rocky Balboa being a hit and Creed 1 and 2 and shit like that, probably. I don't know. What do you think, Script?
Yeah, I think that they see an opportunity for correcting something, because Rocky 4 and Rocky 5 had some weird takes by the audiences at the time. And I think they're like, well, let's start writing the ship and let's see if we can do well with this. And if so, maybe there's a chance we can correct Rocky 5.
You think that's where it'll go? Because that one was actually directed by Albelson.
Yeah, it was, but there was a lot on the cutting room floor for that one too. As
True,
has it.
there is a whatever you call it, a work print out there. I've heard too, so it'd be interesting to see. See, now as far as I always knew, Rocky 4 was one of the more well received of the sequels. It was 5 was the one that was.
5 was the worst one, yeah, but I mean, a lot of people
said the whole AIDS guy in an alley.
It's a street fight, yeah.
I don't mind 5 as much. I get why some people don't like it, but
I didn't like it because he ignored his son the whole fucking movie.
That's kind of in the story.
Yeah, that felt kind of out of character too.
Yeah, Sadie, I know. With that, I guess Sadie's telling us it's about time to go. So let's start with Fat Steven and whatever the fuck that is. That's nasty. Ant-Man.
That's Joe Biden.
It's
Aunt
May.
Gary
Gary
Busey.
Busey. Aunt May.
Gary Busey, Aunt May, yes.
Same thing.
Well, not really. One
Promote
actually has
yourself,
Tom.
Fat Steven.
I will, Tom. Mike, I'm going on it right now. Thank you, Tom, for having me. Have a channel.
I'm sure I'll regret it later.
Oh, come on. I co-host the Lunch Table. I do a lot of gaming, pop culture stuff, Babylon 5. I do a show every other week with Pop Culture Minefield and every Friday with Pop Culture Minefield. Check me out. Mock me. Fat's in the name. You can call me Fat whenever you want. Thank you, Tom, Script, Culture, Jesse, and Mike. And, of course, myself. Because I'm awesome.
Yes, indeed. Culture, you got anything coming up? Anything you want to plug?
Well, yeah, actually. Okay, so tonight, of course, is the Thursday Night Throwdown over on Comics Division stream. So you got to check that out. Going to be fantastic tonight. We have a special guest this evening. It is George Molo joining us this evening. So if you want to see George on a stream live,
cool.
This is the time to do it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Lots of things to talk about. Believe it or not, it's kind of entertainment related because we're going to talk about some Will Smith.
I see he's talking about critical race theory. It's kind of funny. The biggest actor throughout the 90s is trying to pretend that it's...
Well,
that he wasn't as big as he was.
Will Smith also said that Trump voters should be eradicated, so he could go fuck himself.
He's just jealous he didn't star in Battlefield Earth. Let's just get that straight.
We're gonna cover a few more things. There's some more articles. It's gonna be a good night. I hope everybody can join us. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
okay, I'll be over there. That's gonna be great.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
Rip him a new butthole.
Yeah, it'll be right after I have supper. So right now, what I have coming up is supper. Anyway, everybody, thanks for being here. We appreciate you. Wouldn't be a show without you. You guys are the best, as you know. And thanks to Andre for letting us use his channel today. So thank you very much, and peace and love.
Yeah, especially considering Script Doctor. Anything you got coming up?
No, other than I have to start doing some research to this assignment gig I just got. So, outside of that, just follow me on Twitter to see where I'll be popping up, and yeah, we'll go from there.
And that will be on Comics Division's channel, Giuseppe. So check out Comics Division's channel.
Comics Division. I can actually drop the thing in the thing.
Sure can. And then we also have Mike here. Anything you got going on you want to plug?
Sunday nights I'm with Doomcock. Tuesdays and Thursdays, Midnight's Edge After Dark with Tom.
And you do pop into the main channel and Midnight's Edge Espanol as well. And so, yeah. Jesse.
I'm going to run a stream later, too. It's not going to be about any specific topic. We're going to talk about the day. Then we're going to just bullshit and tell jokes and have a good time. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to run a coffee stream when I wake up. Then I'm going to go about the day and do a few things that I got to do. I'm going to bring my Turtle arcade machine up here. That makes me happy.
Nice.
And I'll probably do another one tomorrow because I'm on vacation. Fuck it.
Awesome. Nice.
Nice.
And, yeah, and then... also, check out the Latino Slant. Paulie, thanks for giving us this quick review of Venom earlier. And other than that, you can find me roaming around all kinds of crazy places. What were you saying, Culture?
I guess I'm not a wrench here. Oh, well.
No, you're not? Oh, yeah, because we're on the main channel. I'll have to tell Andre. We'll just share it in private chat, and I'll throw it in there. So, yeah, other than that, check us out sometime this weekend.
What?
Yeah, who knows? Sometime at some point. And remember, kids, what's up, Pat Steven?
Don't forget to tune into MEAD Radio, where he plays music until Karens knock him out.
This is true.
It's true.
This is very true. All right, I'll share this real quick. So you guys, if you want to hop onto comics, maybe I'll pop in for a little bit just to say hi to George. Because I go, George! Other than that, usually you guys get a little political for what I can get into. But sometime I might be able to talk a little bit about the Will Smith stuff. Who knows? If not, tell everybody I said hello and send them my love.
Of course. You're always welcome.
And remember, kids, the show is always brought to you by Rabbit Chicken Meat.
Do you like rabbit? Do you like chicken? Have you ever wondered what it would be like to have both at the same time but can never find both at the same place? Well, Disney and Shang-Chi have taken care of that for you. That's right. You can get yourself Rabbit Chicken Meat, now available at every Walmart and Costco. What you waiting for? Move your feet and get some Rabbit Chicken Meat. It's good.